the only way she's ever known. I can't explain it, the way she gets into the zone. But when she's got that look, it's the one and only way to go.
Inside Stone's Gambling Hall in Sacramento, California, you'll find Sammy's Restaurant and Bar. Recognized for its innovative, healthy global cuisine, Sammy's offers menu selections made with local, organic ingredients. Indulgent options like truffle fries, duck tacos, artisan wood-fired pizzas, fresh salads, and more, along with an eclectic selection of craft beers and classic handcrafted cocktails. Plus, with 40 big screen TVs, Sammy's is also the perfect place to catch your favorite game. Satisfy your craving anytime, 24/7, tableside or in the dining room at Sammy's Restaurant and Bar at Stone's Gambling Hall.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Stone's Live Poker. I am Jake Rosensteel here with
Justin Kelly
and Cash Game Poker tonight. Last time we had a tournament, tournament table for the Western Senior Poker Series. Mr. Al Alm, one of the founders of the Western Senior Poker Series, took that down.
rigged. Is the founder allowed to take it down?
Poker's rigged.
It's rigged.
It's all rigged. It's all bad. So we're back to Cash Game Poker tonight, and I really love it because some of our regs that have been spending the summer in Vegas for the series and just grinding out cash games there, they're all starting to to trickle back now.
We're all back.
Yeah. So we're back to Cash Game Poker tonight, 5-5, and one of our regs, Kyle G, the Honey Badger.
Honey Badger.
Veronica would like to call him. He's in the game tonight. With a couple other characters. Mike Postle in seat 1, he's got to send him out at 1200. Casey, who's been doing his own thing, kind of whatever. He hasn't been on the stream in a while, but whenever he is, game is really good. Casey started the game with about 800. Frank
the Tank.
Frank, baby.
Frank.
He's the best.
What's your Snapchat say? I think every table needs like all Franks.
A table full of Franks.
Table full of Franks.
Oh my god, I was playing a game with Frank before the stream started. It was just 1-3. It was 1-3. Frank sits down and buys in for the table max and makes it a $25 straddle, right? So we're playing 1-3-25.
And then you're just like, this is gonna go excellently.
Yeah. Frank's starts with about 1100. Tony Y, fresh haircut for Tony Y.
Nice.
He's got about 1100 in front of him. Peter, seat 5, because Kyle.
Another Stone staple there, Peter.
Absolutely. Kyle decided to spite him and take seat 6.
Oh, it's like that.
Kyle's like, all right, Peter, you want seat 6?
Peter doesn't look happy about it either. He's like, that's not cool, man. That's my seat.
Scrappy little kid, take my seat. And there's Kyle. He's got about 950 in front of him now. So everyone's got it right around $1,000.
Well, that's why they call him Honey Badger, because he don't care.
He don't
care.
We have Leo. Leo watches our stream on his lunch breaks from Malaysia.
Wow.
Yeah, he's originally from Brazil.
Okay.
He was now I guess lives in Malaysia, and he's here on business or whatever, or came here for the stream. And Leo from Malaysia in seat 7. How awesome is that?
That's super. So Leo with the award for farthest traveled for this game by a mile. I don't think anybody's gonna beat that.
Leo is crushing it.
Yeah.
Leo's got about 1,000 in front of him. Kelly, fresh player we haven't seen on the stream before. Nice. Kelly, she's got about 1,000 in front of her. And Anthony, call your mother. In seat 9 as usual. He's got about 1,100 in front of him. So this game, it's 5-5. It's 1,000 max to start the game, and then table stakes after that. So I think that's why you see most of these players here still have right around starting top max stacks about $1,000.
Yeah, everybody's right on that point. It's funny. I'd be the guy who buys in. Everybody buys in for $1,000. The first guy who wins a potty is like 1,005. I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna match that. I need another
keep reaching in your pocket, little chips in your stack.
How much did he win? Okay, here's another $20. I want to match.
Yeah. So they've been playing for just a little while now. So some chips have kind of moved around the table.
Yeah, it's funny, when these live streams start, right? I mean, these players they don't just necessarily start playing right when we sit down, right? So at the end of the day, I mean, we've seen even previously where there was a situation where Anthony got felted literally as we're starting the first hand of the stream.
Oh, wasn't that sick?
Yeah, it was so sick, and he just had like ace king to top set. It was like, ugh.
So I didn't see what happened this hand, but very first hand, that's Sarah pushing Casey a very large pot.
Very sizable pot.
And I think it came off Anthony. Wow.
God, I was just talking about that before we start the stream. Anthony runs so bad before we actually start the stream. He just needs to like wait and sit out until the stream starts.
Or just like, okay, we're getting ready to start like streaming now, and I'm just gonna like play like a net for the next 5-10 minutes.
Just do it.
Rickon, Barstow, Puck 66, all the usual suspects in the chat box. What's going on, guys?
All the rigs.
Oh, so the JFK Stone says it was Ace Jack versus Jack Jack. Casey and Leo. Oh, okay, it was Casey and Leo. Leo bluffed Ace High on a King High board. And Casey called Jacks. Good call, Casey. Casey the Crusher. And here we go. First hand with cards, and Frank's got the V straddle. I love it.
Not surprised. The V straddle, the flying V.
Right here. V straddle.
So it's 5-5, 35 to go.
5-5. Guys, welcome to Stones here, where we do a 5-5, 35 game. Super strong.
MC Scotty P, welcome to the chat. So Leo decides, I guess on the first hand right before the stream starts, to make a bluff with Ace High. So Leo came all the way from Malaysia, and you don't come from Malaysia to play like a net. You come to play.
Yeah, no, he came to play. Especially if you're watching on your lunch break and stuff. I mean, he's a player, man. This will be the first of many fun pots, I'm sure we'll see.
So Leo's gonna call the $35 straddle, King 10 off. Anthony comes down the button, 7-5. Mike completes a small line, 8-4 off. I love it. He's sick. Mike's got the sickness.
Frank with Queen Deuce here. The live V pays off. Flush draw here for Frank on the flop. I think we're just kind of catching up with the action tracker here.
And Mike leads.
And Frank's like, yeah, right, I'm not going anywhere, dude.
Interesting play from Mike without many players behind him. Bet 75. Frank calls the flush draw. And Anthony
gonna get a little splashy here.
Oh, baby.
He called his mother. She said, this is how you play this right here. Bet 75, calls 75. He's instantly gonna pump it up to what, 300?
225?
300.
Three bills. Man, he's got to have a real solid read on Mike here for him to do that.
Yeah, for sure.
He knows Mike's never, and logically, Mike's not never lead a jack there. Probably gonna be check calling most of his jacks.
Well, I think the way that Anthony, or the way that Frank called too, maybe Anthony puts Frank on a flush draw and he just says, well, hey, if I can blow one guy off a flush draw, oh, maybe I can blow two off random draws or non-top pair. We're top pair crap kicker.
Look at Mike thinking. Mike's been wondering, well, with that sizing, can he really have a lot of value hands? It's like he's trying to blow me off my hand. And Mike's gonna flat. Oh, what a sicko. Mike flats 225 more with a gut shot straight draw.
And now, where's Frank gonna go? He's getting 4-1 on his money almost right here.
Frank's got to be concerned that maybe his clubs will be no good if he gets there.
Possible higher flush draw, yeah.
But I think at this price, I think you call. Frank's gonna get away from it, and that's exactly it. Frank's worried about being up against a better flush draw.
Yeah. Where if he spikes it, it might be no good anyways.
Hitting to Anthony might be raising with a nut draw. 4 on the turn, and here we go. Anthony's now gonna pick up an open-ended straight draw to go along with his pair, and Mike makes a pair.
Boom, just fires out, what is that, like another 700 or something right there? What a beast. Anthony's a tank.
First hand of the night.
Welcome to poker.
Mike Postle, 8-4.
And the thing is, you know, this super semi bluff, his hand improves. You know, it's like,
Mike jams.
6-7? Alright, 9-5. 6-7?
Anthony calls. Jesus.
Welcome to poker.
Okay, so this is the hand that we're gonna have to show everyone to advertise why you want to come to these games.
Yeah.
We got 7-5 and 8-4 going nuts on a jack high flop.
We got a pan. I just want to
Give me a board night, Jake. Nothing on there to look at.
7, 9, 30.
First
I'm
hand.
supposed to
Welcome
try
to
to wrap my mind around like, what just happened there. Like, Mike leading 75 with a gut shot. Anthony popping him with middle pair.
And look, and the flush draw never even got there. Frank is just laughing all the way to the bank right there. Frank's like, yep, got out of that way cheap.
Oh wait, I'm seeing 6-7.
Oh.
Okay, so we got okay. There we go.
Fine. Okay.
All right. So Anthony had sorry guys, it looks like we had an error with the cards there. Anthony had 6-7.
Now, do we think Mike still had 4-8 here? That's the real question. Now I can't trust anything. Now I can't even trust my own feelings.
Okay, yeah, so Mike, no way then. Okay.
Well, okay. I honestly don't know what happened there because I don't even really know what everybody had. So okay, so if
Now
Anthony
I'm
has 6-7, so if Anthony has 6-7, he flops bottom 2. I mean, are you thinking that Mike still had the same hand and he was just kind of firing some air?
The best online player.
But
I don't want to. Okay.
I don't want to speculate either way, but he knows Anthony is basically super pocket middle of the turn. He's not going anywhere.
And that would make more if there was a card reading error and Mike leading 8-4 just. I mean, don't get me wrong.
Open with 4 players behind everyone.
Mike is a pressure cooker. Mike loves putting pressure on players. But even for Mike or God, anyone, leading 8-4 on that board, it just seems like suicide.
Yeah.
And then raising the.
Do you have Anthony's number? Do you want to text Anthony and be like, hey, what the heck were those hands? Were you at 6-7?
Did Mike show his hand?
Oh, yeah, I think he did. I don't know.
Yeah, so Anthony flopped bottom 2, and that's where he
That makes
raised.
more sense that he was firing it out there.
Okay.
I'm like, bold
I just-
strategy with
yeah.
7. Anthony's a beast. He's a tank.
Like, wow, he's like just reading Mike's soul right now. And
Angry
Mike
Pollack.
is soulless with the
I
game
know.
board.
Angry Pollack's like, guys, what's going on?
What is this?
What's going on?
Wow. Nick Scotty P. Get on the list, baby. Come on down.
Get this. All right, go
Just
on
chunk the
flop
system,
here.
yeah. It was
Fresh
flop
one.
bottom 2.
Fresh one here. Pair of 7s for Frank. A gutter ball straight draw to Broadway here for Mike. Mike just reloaded some fresh chips.
And the game is live.
Boom.
Wow.
Turns an ace.
Frank's to keep firing. Check. Mike shows ace jack, takes it down. Okay, so now it looks like everything's reading correctly.
Yeah,
I don't know what happened on that first hand.
I don't know either. I blacked out what
Yeah,
happened. Frank,
I gotta think. I'm trying to speculate on what kind of hands. If Mike really didn't have the 8-4, I'd like to think that he wouldn't have 8-4 there.
I think the only hand that was actually accurate was probably Frank's flush draw hand. You know?
7-5. He could have 7-5.
Already, really?
That could make sense. Then he turns open-ended with...
What'd you have on that hand, Mike? No. We just saw ace jack of diamonds.
Where Anthony had 6-7.
I had, when Anthony
Back to back.
Oh, you had top. You flopped top.
Okay, yeah. The card. Yeah, it showed that you had 8-4 off.
And we're like, wow, bold strategy.
my body's fucking going off on me.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Okay, so there we get confirmation from Mr. Mike Postle. He had ace jack of diamonds in back-to-back hands. In that first hand, he had
flopped top.
So he had top, and Mike. There we go.
Now we're talking.
Okay, that makes a lot more
I was worried.
sense.
I love it. I was like, my buddies are all screaming at me or watching the stream like, God, how nitty are you? You play so bad. You know, and he's like, guys, I had ace jack. What do you want from me?
Okay, so for whatever reason, the card readers were...
So for all of Mike's friends watching, stop yelling at him. Stop harassing him over text, okay? He's just fine. especially for him over there, probably watching the stream. He's like, what hand is this? I didn't have that. What are we doing here? All right, 10s versus 8-9 here, going to the flop. Boom, 8 queen deuce, pair of 8s for Mike, and Leo's 10s are still the best.
Leo's gonna lead his 10s.
Damn. All right, got family advantage.
Sarah there in the dealer box, always fun to have at the table. She's just, I feel like she's just another player at the table who happens to be dealing, just hanging out.
Mike makes a call, king on the turn. That might slow down Leo. It's an interesting spot for Mike if Leo checks. He can check back with some showdown value if you think that Leo's got some bluffs here. Or you can try to push Leo off a better hand. As it is, Leo's not going to give him the option to think, and Leo's going to fire out another turn bet.
So Leo's going to keep applying the pressure, saying, hey man, if you got the queen, if you got the flush draw, I'm going to make you pay for it, at least think about it.
But Leo, he can get value from flush draws, and he thinks maybe he might be able to push Mike off of a queen, I think, other than king queen here. He bets 195. And I think now Mike's gonna get away. Yep.
Out of there.
You got away with the quick one there, sir.
Leo, longest traveled winner here from Malaysia, you said?
Malaysia, he's Brazilian, but he's living in Malaysia. He's here in California now, and firing bullets on the stream.
Yeah,
Love it.
Love it. I super love it. If he's watching it over there in his lunch break, what time is that? That's good times. It's a super,
So all I know is
super
that
fun time
at some point between 7 to 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, it's lunchtime in Malaysia.
It's lunchtime in Malaysia. We're just hosting the lunchtime Malaysian poker show here. JFK Stone says the problem with the cards reading wrong has been corrected. So if you guys have any complaints, problems, just yell at JFK Stone and shake your fist repeatedly. He's a huge fan.
You got Casey picking up aces in the cutoff. Anthony, pocket fours, open up the pot. Make it 20 to go. Mike calls quickly 9-10 off. Casey now. Bullets with butterfly wings. What are you going to do?
Well, we're going to raise. It's a matter of how much.
Makes it 80 to go. Anthony can definitely call.
Do a little set hunting.
And if he does, he might price in Mike as well. And here we go.
Right.
These three fine young gentlemen are going to have a three-way.
Juicy little pot.
190 in the pot.
Open-ended here for Mikey on the flop. Everybody else misses, but I don't think Casey matters that much here. Still with the best with aces. So they both check over here to Casey, who has position with the aces, and he's going to make it 150. So Mike's looking to snap off those aces, and the turn is not going to help him here. So Mike's still looking for a king or an 8. He's going to check over to Casey's aces here.
Casey checks back. I think Casey could have bet there.
Free card, and he breaks it. Yeah, and honestly, that's not only does Casey want to bet there to possibly, either get Mike off the hand, but he also needs to. That's the value point right there. That's the super value point.
You can get value from ace king queen, 9-10, king 10. You can get value from all his worst hands on the turn, all the draws. It breaks through. Casey knows he has the best hand. That's a little something. Can't get any love.
So Puck66 with an interesting question here. He says, probably only have a chance to poker in Portland, which is the first time I've heard of it, so I wouldn't be surprised. I guess in Portland cash games, they actually run in timed levels. You play for 1 hour, then take a 5-minute break, and you can't leave until the break unless you felt.
Wow.
This creates a situation. So, I mean, like, what if you have to go to the bathroom? You just, like, shove jam and be like, I hope my juices are good? I don't know.
Wow, that's really interesting. I don't know. I'd have to think about that for a little while.
Yeah.
So the question is it creates a situation when people like to get, I guess, froggy right before the break. And what kind of hands would you call in that shove spot? So I guess it's the same as you see players do that in tournament poker. Yeah, where you're coming up on break and no one wants to go broke before the break. They all want to go tell all their buddies all the bad beat stories and garbage. So
I take the exact opposite approach. I just fold the hands before the break because I've had very bad luck in the past. I just like, whatever. I looked at it, if it's jacks, I'm like, great, fold, I'm out of here. Smoke break, bye.
Frank's had enough limping. He makes it 20 to go out of the cutoff, 9-5 off. Kyle defends a big blind. Peter comes in the small blind as well. And Tony called on the button.
Top pair for Frank.
Spade draw for Tony. Frank flops the best of it. He bets 45. Tony's just going to call. 9-7-4 misses most players, so I think Tony could have thought about raising there possibly. But Frank, 9-7-4 is all about Frank.
Oh yeah,
that's all definitely.
That's
well
my zone.
Frank's
That's my
range.
zone. Get out of here. All right, so Tony here going to the turn, misses his draw. Frank's gonna fire another 60.
And now Tony raises the turn. This is a very strong move by Tony.
Maybe 245, 245.
Your turn with the bus drawing.
You know, when in doubt, if you're not sure if you're gonna get your draw, just act like you already got it. So I'm just gonna fire it up and get Frank off the spot.
If Tony had something like a set of 7s, set of 4s in this hand, he might play it a very similar way, where he might just flat Frank on the flop, and then when the ace comes off and Frank still bets, it looks like he's going to be, should be pretty strong there, and then decides to get a raise in. The other hands he might have, from Frank's point of view, might be ace X of spades.
Dog QC, there is no camera for the hole cards. We actually use little RFID chips in the cards, so that information gets fed back to our stream and then gets slapped up there for you to see. And Frank's gonna get away.
Tony gets Frank to fold the best hand. Anytime we're getting better to fold, that's always a positive result. Nice play, Tony Uke.
What are you, results oriented or something over here? So to follow back to Puck's question earlier, you can go to the restaurant and come back, but you can't cash out until the break.
Oh, so you can't like just pick up until the break. So you have to,
I don't.
Okay, so you have to play through. You can't. So you can't just go and like, all right, I just want a big pot. I'm gonna pick up and leave now. You can't hit and run. I guess that's cool.
So I guess that part's cool, but the other thing is like, I mean, if you have a couple players waiting to get up, then it kind of sucks because then at the break, all of a sudden, what if you lose 4 players? I mean, you better have a list to fill those 4 seats instantly, as opposed to kind of trickling one out, bringing one in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. That's weird. Damn hippies all up in Oregon.
Crazy people. What, you think just because you don't pay tax, you're better than me?
Anthony makes it 20 to go with 3s. 4s didn't work. We'll try 3s. And he gets everyone to call.
I don't want to hear that now. Put me on now. Put me on now.
5, 6, 7. 2 diamonds. Very, very wet flop. Frank's got the nut diamond draw and an open-ended straight draw. If the graphics are right, Mike's got king 10 with 10 of diamonds, and Mike's taking a stab at it. That's 70. I'm hesitant to say that Mike actually has king 10 here. I don't know. Board pairs on the turn. Mike fires again. The board is double paired, and as long as our graphics are working correctly, Frank's got the best hand with the ace high. But after Mike fires all 3 streets.
Let you off the hook.
Calling for chops here is
I'll
terrible.
let you off the hook.
He's got the best hand. But the way Mike played this, he looks super strong here.
Yeah, on credit.
Thank you, Sarah, for not sticking it.
But Tony didn't see
Mike
that.
bets 350, takes down.
So guys, if you like all this fun action, don't forget to click that lovely little heart there in the bottom left. That will make us one of your favorites. You get a little notification when we go live. Maybe you're having lunch in Malaysia. You'll know that we're live, so you can always tune in and have some good times.
I swear.
I know we do, that's for sure.
In my head, that was one of the
Drake RX says easy call, Frank. I don't necessarily agree with that. Because we can see that Frank had the best hand, but the way Mike played the hand, I don't think that is an easy call as well. Just because the way the flop came down, I mean, Mike doesn't have.
Mine right now, I wasn't sure.
I mean, there's no rationality that says, oh yeah, he probably has king high here. Why would he king high hand lead out on the 5, 6, 7 flop? I mean, he's gonna have mostly pairs and or draws, but unless you specifically put him on, got anything. I mean, 8-9's a flop straight. Even 7-8 has to be.
Here, we got some fun hands here. Check this out. Deuces, kings, tens, all of the above. Something for everybody.
Like I said,
Oh, we're gonna see a first pot with Kelly here.
I'm sitting up.
So Anthony raised a 20 under the gun, and Mike put in a 3-bet to 60.
Oh, we actually might not see Kelly in this spot here with the re-raise. It looks like going to 200.
A little more history than you and I have.
Anthony now puts in the 4-bet.
Oh, at least more than that, actually. 300. Super solid. Mike's thinking, okay, maybe my tens aren't quite where I thought.
You go on the phone, you go to Twitch.
So Anthony made it 20, Mike made it 60, and then Anthony makes it 300. I feel that is either kind of like, I don't have much, or I have kings. So, in this particular case,
It's a large raise, and Mike's kind of looking at it. Mike probably knows he's behind right now. He's gonna call anyway. He's not getting a great price to set mine here, but he does have position on Anthony. He probably feels he might be able to take some boards or the pot away from Anthony on some boards.
all right, juicy little heads up pot here. 7 1/4 in the pot. Stack o' green coming down to this flop. Boom. Ooh, this could be a dangerous board here for Mike. So 9 deuce 5 rainbow, all unders for Mike. And Anthony as well. Anthony's gonna fire a big old stack, and Mike's really gonna have to figure out where he's at in his hand right now.
And this reeks of an overpair.
Yeah.
I think Mike knows where he's at.
The little head shake right there. I think that was Mike knowing where he's at.
I think Mike gets away. Here's what would have really been interesting. If an ace would have flopped, what Anthony would have done and how Mike would have responded.
Yeah.
So
Very
Mike wasn't just calling here, I feel, just to try to spike a 10. Mike's also, like I said, thinking that there's some boards he'll be able to use to take the pot away from Anthony.
Oh, yeah, very true.
And I think Mike mainly wanted to see what would Anthony do if an ace flops.
One of those boards mainly being an ace high board too. You know, he could put in one pump and see where he's at, and maybe get Anthony to fold. So looks like you had 600. According to these stats here, Mike's got about 1.2k in front of him, so it's literally half a stack. So I mean, if he's calling, he's not calling this. He's jamming or folding.
Mike can only beat ace king. The problem for yeah, there he goes.
Mike knew it. He just wanted to talk about it in his head for a minute and be like, yep, I'm out of here. Mike's watching the stream right now thinking, yep, I knew it. Good fold.
She didn't kill your enough though.
Anthony calling him out here, the chip leader, almost 3K.
Oh, it could have been worse.
Just a black 3.
All right, you ready? 5 hours. Take a shot.
Probably the ace was good, right? I hit the ace. I'm good.
Fresh action dealer coming in there, bringing Thomas, who was nice enough to snag us some waters.
Thomas.
Thomas, good people. Kinkos, good
I
people.
thought you might have called that.
What's that?
I thought you might have called that.
So we see Kyle G there in seat 6. Talked to him just briefly, very briefly last night. But Kyle, he's a cash game animal. But while he was down there in Vegas, a couple of his buddies, namely Azan and Sasha, a couple of the guys, talked Kyle into finally, broadening his horizons and playing a few tournaments while he was down there in the series. Cash in one bad beating the other and didn't cash. And so he was 1 for 3.
Yeah.
But
I thought you were gonna be like,
he
you fired 1 bullet in 1 tournament and he took it down for like 150 grand. Like,
yeah, no.
Dang it.
No. But so far he says he still very much prefers cash.
Yeah. I mean, they're very different style of games too.
I like the way this game's playing so far. It's deep,
Oh yeah. No, this game is has no shortage of action here.
We say that as it folds to the blinds.
Yeah, no shortage of action as everybody folds around and we have our first chop pot of the stream right here.
Frank made it 20 to go, takes down the pot.
That table only made the game.
Gankle, welcome to the chat.
Table full of Franks.
That down right there.
Table full of Franks. Dream table.
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
So you see Anthony started this table with about $1 grand, and he's already up to 2,900, up nearly 2K already for the session.
Solid. I think right now is about the time of the stream where Mike's on his phone watching that first hand that didn't read right. And
Yeah.
he's like, guys,
what the hell?
Guys,
8-4, really?
What's going on here, guys?
You were here, pal. Did you forget you were here?
Bunch of limpers in the pot.
And Anthony here from the small, thinking about getting a little spunky, and he sure is. 25, quarter to go, 30 bucks. 25 more.
And it's going to price in everyone.
Yeah, no, that's a super, I call it the pot builder, right? A little pot builder, get it in there. He's like, yep, everybody calls. So now we have something to fight for here. Pot sitting at 180. Bunch of players. Ooh, look at that, 2, 4, 5. Not a whole lot of anything. Mike here with an overpair on that board. He's very familiar with this situation.
Tony's got an inside straight draw. Anthony's gonna check and Mike's gonna fire out his 8s. 2 overs and a gut shot is not good enough for Tony. He's gonna make the fold.
Anthony making that little pot builder raise in first position there. I mean, he's not like he's going to get all married to the pot. I mean, he's in first position. He's got every player behind him. He's just thinking, if I happen to flop some monster like Broadway or something with this, then I'm getting paid.
Well, King Queen flops so well, generally there. I mean, it's almost as if Anthony's like turning his hand into a bluff. I really don't think he has to do that position because when he raises there, his size it only makes it 30 to go. Mike, probably the most aggressive player at the table, or possibly the most aggressive player at the table, he's going to defend his big blind religiously. And once Mike calls, everyone starts getting priced in. So
and it's only worse. It's the snowball effect.
You're
right?
kind of inflating the pot.
One person calls, the next person calls, and everybody's calling
out of position. If Anthony's on the button, I really like. You're building bigger pots while you're in position.
Yeah.
With a hand that's likely to be favorite over most players' limping ranges. Out of position, even though your hand probably is once again better than most players' limping ranges are going to be, you're going to be out of position in the hand.
Yeah.
Unless you think you're really going to be able to take it down pre, or at least maybe get heads up with it.
I don't know what I have, but what I do know is I got good in.
Woman Raider, welcome to the chat. All the regulars coming in, saying hi, hanging out with us here. All right, 6-9 versus Ace-8 going to the flop. We have a little bit for Kelly. Huge flop for Kelly here, 2 pair.
Kelly finally plays the hand and flops top and bottom pair.
That's why she's been waiting. She's like, I only play 2 pair better, guys.
And she's not going to waste any time getting money in the pot.
And unfortunately for her, Frank has nothing to even draw out on her with.
Kelly bets 45, takes it down.
For the record, I would have called
So have you seen Kelly Rennie? Is she a regular?
I think Kelly had a couple of the other card rooms in town playing 2-5, 5-10.
Okay.
Games like that. Yeah.
So she's a player. Okay,
yeah, Kelly's another grinder.
I figure she's the only person at her table with the name in all capital letters. So you know she's a beast.
I think Kelly's out of the Bay Area, if I'm not mistaken. Though.
Okay, cool.
I think I was talking to Frank earlier. I think Frank's played some games with her in the Bay.
Yeah.
Not sure exactly where, but.
Yeah, Woman Writer, no, that is not Dr. Kelly. That is a different Kelly.
I don't know who Dr. Kelly is.
You would. I'll show you
Oh,
a
I
picture.
know Kelly.
Yeah, you know Kelly.
Yeah.
Orthodontist.
Gesundheit.
Hey.
Yeah. Hey.
I'll write that down in my book of dad jokes.
Family Zanolini watching his dad on holiday in Brazil.
Nice.
Leo.
We're going international. Welcome to the chat.
The world famous.
The world famous, guys.
Stones Gambling Hall.
We do not stop in just the States. We go farther.
Anyways, 65.
Anthony makes it 15 to go. 6-7 spades out of the cutoff. Mike puts in a 3-bet to 65 with 8s. Jack 9-7. Anthony captures a little piece though, but he's still second best to Mike. Mike's got an inside straight draw to go along with his pair.
And Mike's gonna fire it back to Anthony, otherwise known as Ant Doom, here in the chat room. He says no, thank you. Yeah, this is a fun little table. I think I played with pretty much everybody here, I think, except for Kelly and
Leo.
And Leo, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, because last time I was playing poker in Malaysia, obviously.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Can't golf cancer at your Barstow Brothers throw bids over.
I didn't know that was the thing.
I guess, I don't know.
Oh my God, we're getting flashed in the booth again.
It happens more often than you would think.
People think that we're really like joking when we say that happens. It's not though.
No.
It's remarkable.
Check the cameras. All right, looks like we got a couple of fun pocket pairs here. We got ace, king, sixes, sevens. Oh yeah. So Kelly's gonna make it 15. Anthony got out of there. Mike calls it. And action over to Tony.
Tony puts in a 3-bet.
Yeah, he's gonna 3-bet it up here with ace king.
Making 75 to go. Kelly can call. She will. As will Mike. And by that point, it's probably going to price Casey in with a Jack 9 of clubs. He's got the button.
Good grade. You got room.
And we're going to go 4-way to a flop.
Right. All right, let's root for the train wreck here. 6, 7, couple clubs.
Ace, 6, 7, 2 clubs.
I know, we're so bad. Look
Jack
at this.
4, 3, all spades.
Big
Almost.
flop. Tony's got the only one here with a spade and actually has the second nut spade. Nothing. I mean, top pair for Casey here on the board. He is not a fan of. Plastica, welcome to the chat room.
Tony's in the lead.
170.
Kelly's going to double check and say, yep, they were both red. Good job.
170, and it's not enough to continue. Casey here is in kind of a bad spot. Here's the thing, when I see a player 3-bet out of the blinds and I call the hand like suited connectors, I'm mostly planning to fold most of my top pair type hands. And I mean, you're really planning to flop, you know, some sort of other equity in hand, straight draw, flush draw, something like that, and not get committed with one pair unless, I mean, the board, and like certain hands, like if I'm playing like 5, 4, 6, 7, and I flop top pair there, I'm more likely to continue on with one pair type hands just because then it's less likely that I'm also running into top set.
Yeah.
And I flop top pair. I mean, the only top set, you only set you got to worry about here is, you know, jacks. But
Well, I mean-
ace king ace king with a spade is a favorite against him.
Yeah.
So
Well, I was going to say, exactly. I mean, even though technically the Casey has the best hand there, he's still only 40%.
Yeah, he's a dog.
I mean, yeah, he's
even
behind.
if Casey thinks, I have the best hand right now.
You know, if Casey just like, Tony goes all in, Casey calls like, yeah, I got you. And I was just like, you actually don't.
Yeah,
like,
you're in a really, really bad spot.
Yeah, so Casey correctfully got away there. There's a million things that could have killed him on the turn. Welcome to, looks like some of our international viewers here, rooting for Leo.
Daniel Pavilak. Go Leo. JKH15 says weak fold, gotta call once. I think you can go either way there. Once again, like I said, if you think your opponent's 3-betting range is really, really wide, then I think calling there is absolutely fine. If you're playing against a really, really tight player whose 3-betting range is only going to be jacks plus some ace, king, ace, queen. If you see bet in the flop, you got to figure if you put at least one spade in his hand for him to see bet the flop, even if he missed with ace, king, ace, queen, then he's still once again a favorite against you. In which case, then I think folding's fine. Even though you think, yes, right now technically I have this hand, but I'm still an underdog to win the pot. Any money I put in, I'm probably not getting back. I think folding's fine there.
All right, 8-9 ace here going to it. It's going to give Tony an 8. It's going to give Frank a little gutter ball straight draw. It's apparently not in his hand here, so heads up. Casey missed that. No 4 for him.
JKH15 call flop fold the turn. That's another way to play the hand, and that's good too.
Hey, Jack on the turn actually gives Tony a straight draw now with his 8. He's going to check it to Casey. Casey's going to check behind. And all right, bingo bango. Puts a 4 card straight on the board. Possible bluffing potential here. Tony, though, still with the best hand. The pair of 8s. And Casey's going to secede the hand. And Tony's going to secede the hand. You are enthusiastic.
Like I said, we were talking last night about hands and junk and stuff. And
you were talking about poker? I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
No, I love it. Yeah, call flop, fold the turn barrel. I think that's fine too. Like I said, with Casey's hand in that previous spot, I mean, I'm fine either way. I think you can flat raise and suicide, of course. I think you can throw that completely out the window. But I think calling with the intention of folding to a turn barrel is fine. And if your opponent checks, then you do nothing but check back. I don't think you ever. I mean, you could bet try to get value out of 2 overs in spade. Remember about the turn. If the turn comes off, a red 4 or any red card under the jack, you're now a favorite.
Yeah.
So you can get value from 2 overs with ace spade.
Okay, we got a few spectators in there. So yeah, hello everybody who's watching from Brazil. So from the HSOP, right on. Very cool.
I've never been to Brazil.
Yeah. Everybody's gonna be like, hey, we got a spot for you. Come on down.
I had a couple friends I used to run around with, and they told me, oh yeah, last summer when we went to Brazil, I'm like, what'd you guys go to Brazil for? And they're like, oh, a friend of ours was having a party. Like they treat it like down the street, down the road.
Yeah.
So we went to Brazil
for this party. For this party, because why not?
Wow.
So we got some fun, interesting in-betweener hands here. Looks like everybody's got a piece of that little straight draw here. Open-ended for Tony. Kyle's got a gutter ball. Kelly's got a gutter ball as well as top pair. Frank is like, what am I doing in this hand?
Kelly bets 25 with a pair of jacks. Tony makes the call.
Oh, wow. That actually misses everybody. Surprisingly.
Queen ball on the turn.
Heads up now between open-ended Tony and Kelly with top
check.
pair. And that's going to complete Kelly straight there. The only hand that would beat her here is ace 10. Yeah, Tony's out. There's nothing for him here.
Yeah, bad run up for Tony.
Yeah.
And I think that's Kelly's first pot she's taking down here.
Yeah, taking it. Welcome.
Go Kelly.
Welcome to the live stream.
Welcome to the stream. Look at all Leo's fans in the chat box. That's awesome.
Oh, you know what? No, that was Kelly's. Kelly's first pot was she's like, hey, I'm not gonna play hand. I'm gonna play ace 8. I'm gonna flop 2 pairs.
All right.
And then I'm gonna take it out. So second pot.
All right.
Not that we're counting.
Well, who cares about
But who's counting? More pots than I won today.
Yeah, right. I was having a great little session earlier, and then Frank came and sat on my left and completely complicated everything.
I bet. Frank, he brings with himself a nice little wrench to throw into every equation.
Yeah. I mean, trying to play against a player who's ranges, everything from deuce 4 through aces, and on any board, on any hand.
Yeah.
And when you're playing against a guy who likes to level himself, like I do, and if a hand in poker can be overthought,
You're gonna do it.
I'm
You're
gonna
gonna do it.
overthink it.
I think you're gonna overthink your overthought process for sure.
Yeah.
So you're gonna like super re-level yourself.
It worked.
Yeah. So we have some Leo fans in the chat. We have a Kelly fan here. Bigger Ultra, welcome to the chat. Right, going to the flop here. 5-3-6, fatty little flop for Tony here, who I guess is not in the hand. I think we're catching up here. He is. We're catching up with the action here. I'm like, great flop for Tony, overpair with a couple of unders here with a straight draw as well.
What happened here?
Catching up. You're allowed to get back in the pot after you fold. That's what our action's showing. You hop right back in.
Wait, flop good. Give me back my cards.
Oh no, guys, I was just kidding. I want it all back. All right, so this completes a possible flush draw here, which
Jack of Hearts on the turn.
Top 2 pair for Frank here on this flop, by the way.
Tony's got a heart, gut shot, and a heart, and Tony's gonna make the call.
A 4 or 7 is there we go. Nope. It's like a 4-7 heart, tons of outs here, and that's gonna break.
Frank leads for 100, and Tony makes a call. Tony is not a believer.
I like it. The whole lip, like, all right.
That's
I think he's right there. The head nod's like, I'll give it to you this time, man.
Yeah.
Just because I'm nice. I'll give it to you this time.
Frank, baby.
So let's hit the bad beat in the stream. Let's stop messing around. Let's just do it.
Let's go for it.
Let's just do it. I'm sure that probably guarantees me and you at least 1 free cocktail, if not 2. So I'm in. Hit the bad beat. You guys make thousands of dollars, and me and this guy are gonna get a drink. It's gonna be great.
Right here. Next seat 7.
It's funny, I was talking before the stream, like, oh yeah, it's so exciting, we're getting all our regs back and this and the other. And like Kyle hasn't played it like a single hand.
I know. Honey Badger, you know why? Because Honey Badger don't care. Honey Badger's like, I don't have to play a hand. You're not the boss of me.
Leo from Malaysia by way of Brazil.
Love it.
At the world famous Stones Gambling Hall.
Everybody else came from down the street. He came from down the ocean.
All right. So you need
Mike's gonna limp in here at 5-3 of clubs.
Tony's gonna listen to us, and you know it must be us. He's like, what are these guys saying?
These stooges.
The Stooges. ST Sherm Deuce, welcome to the chat.
Folds to Kyle's button. And this goes back to what I was talking about earlier when we saw Anthony make a raise out of the small blind with King Queen. It folds to Kyle's button and he makes it 30 to go with the 9-8 of clubs. Kyle knows he's getting called, but he's built up a pot with a hand that's got really good equity in, and he's taking the betting line.
Let's see like a 6-7 of clubs out there because Mike has 5-3 of clubs. I know, we're so sick. Oh, 6-7 of not clubs, but we'll take it. Open it, and see, this is super sneaky disguiser here. Kyle raised, because Kyle did raise, right?
Yes.
So Kyle raised, he flops this weird open-ended draw with 2 overs, and nobody's gonna put him on it. Nobody's like, Kyle must have 8-9.
125 in the pot. I would expect Kyle's size maybe a little bit on the larger side.
It's like 65? 65 it is.
Standard. ST Sherm 2, welcome to the chat. Just chilling.
And taking it down. You see, I love it. That's poker. You don't even need to make your draw to win the pot. Just give me the pot.
That's it.
Just give me the pot.
Anytime you win a pot with 9 high, it's a good thing.
Makes you feel good.
Yeah.
Puts a smile on your face.
I don't know, James isn't here to drag me home tonight.
See, all I gotta do is talk a little smack. Maybe this Kyle play a hand, yeah.
Yeah. And Kyle's like, hey, bro, not cool. Let me show you a hand. I'm an 8-9 raise. Kyle's gonna show you what's up.
Let's try it again. I haven't even seen the straight flush yet.
Yeah, I haven't seen these guys hit a bad beat yet either. So let's just no, I don't know what. The odds is like even money. It happens like every day. Like by every day, I mean like every other couple of years.
I never used to shower.
in there. Frank has no fear of any 2 cards. Over to Kyle. Kyle C78 is like, well, I just went with 8-9. I'm just kidding. I'm out of here.
Leo pocket 8s on the button.
Leo, the Malaysian superstar, on the button with some 8s. Looks like we're going to go upstairs a little bit. $30. Nice little pot builder from the button. Unfortunately, nobody has really anything to hang out with him. Frank will give him action.
Frank wants to break someone's heart.
Frank's just looking to snap somebody right here. All right, ace, queen, 5, no help to anybody. Leo's 8s are still the best by a mile. I love it. I love it. Frank checks. Leo just grabs for chips, and Frank's like, yeah, I was just kidding. Bye. Goodbye.
Look at the hand right after that one.
Look at this. So this is nice. So respectively, our short stack Peter still basically has almost the original buy-in, and everybody else is over that.
Yeah, he's still playing 200 bigs deep.
Yeah, so it's
Deep stack poker is such better poker than when people, like we were talking about that in the last stream. In the tournament, tournaments, it's very, very normal to be playing 20 to 40 big blind deep type stacks, and people were comparing it to some of the cap games that you find down south, where you can only buy in for 40 or 60 bigs.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, those games play very, very, very differently. You're also, though, I think, to me, by playing those games, I think you cripple your learning curve, so to speak, because you're not forced to think on deeper levels about poker.
Well,
It's really simple. Like, I've got top pair, you've got flush draw, we barrel some chips in because I can never fold.
So the thing about like deep stack poker too, like you were saying, it's a great thing. Well, this rate, for instance, deep stack poker enables players to make a bet, a raise, a 3-bet, a 4-bet, and you'll get somebody off a hand.
They can call, they can call a 3-bet pre, float the flop, and then barrel the turn.
But when you got 20, 40 big blinds, it's like whatever, I'm all in. Oh man.
Speaking of all the regs back in town,
Azan's
in the house.
Azan in the house.
10-8-3 top for Mike. Checks over to Peter, who's got a pair of 8s and a backdoor club draw, backdoor straight draw.
Bingo bango here. Jax completes the heart draw, gives Peter an inside straight draw, which he actually gets there. The 7 is going to give Peter that funky little bottom end of the straight.
That's a really bad card. Mike knows it.
Yeah, knows it, and it looks like he fired. Yeah.
And Mike check calls every time he's in the lead. Check folds when he's behind.
It's like these guys done this before. He's played this game right there.
Yeah, he might not be new. Cavange.
If you're a new player playing 5'5", 5'10", whatever, then good for you. Because that's, I feel like you're paying for that Ivy League education real quick, you know what I mean?
I'm going to pronounce that Kevin J. No. Welcome to the chat.
Cavange? We'll go with it.
My Brazilian and or Malaysian pronunciations are
a little rusty?
Yeah, a little rusty.
I got a lot of 35. You, Anthony, on the button.
And the V straddle's on, so it's 5-5, 35 to go.
V straddle. Veronica would be so proud.
If she was sober enough to turn on her computer.
No, that requires way too much effort.
Tony's in the call 35, effectively under the gun +1 officially.
She's at home barreling mom juice.
Action's gonna come back around here to Mike with ace king in the small blind. And I would expect him to 3-bet, and he does. Mike makes it 140 to go.
See, look at that. We get flashed. We get heckled by all the people outside. It gets no respect. I feel like Rodney Dangerfield in here. Ring my bell 13. Azan just made a flash appearance over here by the booth. I'm sure you will possibly see him later. No spoilers, please. All right, Ace King versus Tony 6 is here, going to the flop. Heads up action, pots at about 320. Let's see some fireworks. Not with that. 5 deuce 8, 2 clubs here. Tony still with the best. Not going to slow down Mike any though. Mike's going to come out and represent his overpair that he does not necessarily have.
That goes back. That's why we 3-bet ace king.
We can And Barstow, you're absolutely right. I have not been flashed by you, but I'm hoping at the Veronica and Friends game that we can change that. We can take our relationship to the next level. Okay,
Tony,
5 on the turn.
Wow, Tony gets a little bit sticky, makes a call. Board pairs.
And Mike not slowing down at all here. Still repping the monster. Bernard Beard, welcome to the chat. Oh, I'm sticking out a stack of red and a little bit of green here.
2 barrels from Mike.
He says if at first you don't succeed, try again.
We can now pretty much take a set of 5s out of Tony's range. It's really hard for him to have quads. He can have flush draws. He can have pocket 9s, I guess, maybe. Question is, what is Tony going to limp with that would have just flatted the flop? 6s, 7s, maybe, flush draws. All of which Tony can get. One, I guess he can actually get value from flush draws because ace king's ahead, and or you can get those better hands to fold by double barreling here. It's kind of a combo bet by Tony on this, when he's double barreling ace king here on the 8-5 deuce 5.
Yeah, JKH is a fan. He's just like, ooh, that's a good 2-barrel. Should get through.
It is a good 2-barrel.
Yeah,
it's a really good 2-barrel.
We'll see. Oh, and he's got Tony in the posturing, the smiling act. They're like, okay, I'm thinking about my hand. All right, maybe not. Am I good here?
And the 5 didn't change anything for Tony. Or didn't change the board at all. But like I said, a lot of players, we like to, flat flops or flat, turns, whatever like that, with the intention of knowing that, okay, once I call here, my opponent's never going to bluff the next street.
Yeah.
So once Mike, 2 barrels here.
A lot of times players think they can just flat or basically call just to slow down the original better, and a lot of times it works. I mean, a lot of times that's why floating is fairly popular in the game. Just I'm going to float him once, I'm going to call him once, and see if he slows down, see what he does on the turn, and possibly get some more information here. But Mike did not slow down on the turn at all, and I think Tony's thinking like, okay, I'm either way ahead or I'm totally dominated, and you have like 10s or better,
And this really looks like, to me, kind of it feels like Mike might have no pair and trying to get value from a flush draw.
Yeah.
Put it on the console and let it roll. Run it through.
He bets, when he bets half pot on the turn.
Take it down, Mike. Nicely played there.
Knights of Butt Whistle, welcome to the chat.
Welcome to the chat.
2 barrels, the power of aggression. La Fuente V, welcome to the chat. Here to cheer for his friend Leo.
Who apparently is changing to Team Kelly, I guess.
Right?
Why not? Oh, look at this, Peter, the Rock Peter. We haven't seen much, and now he wakes up with aces. Now this is going to be an interesting scenario because Peter's been playing so tight, because we haven't seen a lot of hands that Peter was involved in, is it bringing us to the set? Now he only made it 35, so he'll probably start. And Kyle just insta-mucks King Jack.
And that's what you see.
That's why.
That's why. When you're not playing a lot of hands, when you're kind of a rock, it's tough to get your nutted hands paid off.
Yeah, that's very tough. I think he might get probably one call here, maybe a weak call from Tony, possibly.
If Frank opens in the same position to 35 with aces, Kyle's calling King Jack all day long.
Yeah.
Peter opening 35, whole different
there we
world.
go. All right, so Tony here flops the nut flush draw against Peter's aces. So Tony's not going to go anywhere here. Pot's $80. Peter's going to bet. What are we thinking? 60? Something like that.
The funny thing about that, man,
35. Super small ball. Here we go. All right, 150
Yeah,
in
really
the pot.
small bet by Peter.
Yeah, super small bet. Tony, I'm going to check it over to Peter. I think he's going to step it up now. Maybe go to like, I'd like to see like 100 or something crazy.
105.
105. Victor rebinds on bulimic. And Brick on the river. Gonna give Peter the check mark.
check the, if I remember right, he checked the turn, and then checked the river too.
Now Peter's got no reason to believe that Tony would play King Queen this slow, but even if he did, he outdrew him with a 9 paired. Peter reaches for chips and Tony says no more.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm just thinking, all right, let me throw a little something out.
So proper 3-bet.
Yeah, I was going to ask your opinion on this. What do you think here?
So proper 3-bet says on the 6-6 Ace King hand, if you
When
raise
the flop came 8 high, it was
Yeah.
5-3.
If you raise the flop, you not only buy a river, but find out more about more info at a better price.
Like, could he really be like repping the ace?
In limit poker, I think that's a great. It's a great move.
That was.
In no limit, you could possibly open up the floodgates to get jammed on.
Yeah.
You know?
In limit though, because you not only are you can raise there, but you can get value from overcards. Overcards in limit aren't folding. Your ace kings aren't folding.
Yeah.
So you can actually raise 6s there, thinking that that's out of their 3-betting range, and get value from those, from overcard type hands. I personally don't love raising that flop with 6s, unless you think that your opponent will fold over pairs. I don't like it.
Yeah.
Just because, I mean, you're kind of, over repping your hand, and I don't think you're going to get a lot of overpairs to fold on board. I think most overpairs are going to call you at least once. I'm trying to see what this character's doing. I don't know. It's kind of weird. I think overcards overpairs are definitely going to call you. So I don't think you're ever getting better hands to fold. Flush draws aren't folding for sure. But I don't know if you're really trying to get value out of those hands with pocket 6s on an 8-high board. I think calling's fine. Raising the flop, you take the betting lead. So I personally don't like raising that flop with 6s. I mean, you're trying to turn your hand into a bluff, and I just don't feel like you need to do that. I mean, if you're not going to get overpairs to fold, then.
Well, and the thing is, right there, if you do raise it, I mean, obviously in this particular scenario, it might have worked. If it's a sizable raise, ace king just lays off, and it's like 5. But you're never going to get an overpair to fold there with a raise.
Well, and if your opponent has ace king, you're ahead, and you don't want them to fold necessarily. Ideally, from Tony's perspective in that previous hand, you'd love the turn to go. You'd love him to check the turn, but when he leads there, so let's forget that Mike had ace king. Let's say I think there's a little bit of hindsight I feel like we need to implement here. So let's say Mike had queens, something like that, and I don't think people are questioning like, oh, should he have raised with 6s? And no one's really questioning that. Then it looks pretty standard. Hey, he bet, he called once. No, Mike's really got it. He bet, and then he can lead away. And then it looks like Tony plays the hand pretty standard, which I still feel he did. Mike just repped his hand really, really, really well. So. I think flatting and then folding with the intention to fold into a 2-barrel is totally fine.
So back to the action at hand here. We had Mike actually pop in a little raise to 15, and Casey with queens re-raised to 35. Then got 3 callers behind him, including Mike. And boom, Jack, King, 2 clubs. Nobody's in love with that. Frank actually picking up a jack. Casey still with the best with queens. No king to be seen.
It's actually a pretty good flop for Casey. He doesn't want to ever see 1 king out there, but 2 kings isn't bad. It makes it less likely anyone else is holding a king. He bets 15. Frank calls. Frank could also, from Casey's perspective, have flush draw and/or Broadway combinations.
I mean, this is
a lot of which get completed there. Yeah.
I was gonna say this is a bad board all the way around. This is the bad beat board waiting to happen, but unfortunately, nobody's got any piece of that monster. Queens here still the best, and I think maybe that check on the turn is going to think that, we're going to check it down, but I think Casey loves that check on the turn behind. I think, Frank's not doing anything there. I mean, no matter what Frank bets, Casey just check calls the river, so Frank correctly got out of there for cheap.
So proper 3-bets as well, and if you just came to call 3-bets with 6s. If you're deep enough, absolutely, because your opponent's turned his hand not totally face up, but at least you have a much narrower range when your opponent 3-bets out of the blind. So you can definitely say, okay, he's probably you can have 10s plus, jacks plus, ace king, ace queen. So you have a lot more information about your opponent's hand than anyone who just flats. So I think definitely you can call with 6s. As long as you're deep enough. That goes back to this game playing 200 bigs deep.
We must go deeper.
Yes. If your opponent, in most tournament scenarios or spots or if you're playing shallow, set mining with no implied odds. It's just you're just giving away money.
I'm a miner. I'm a set miner. Just looking for sets out there in the cave, spelunking around, hunting for some sets. Speaking of set mining, Anthony's going to do that right here. But he's going to raise it up because he's like, I'm a pretty good miner. I mine sets well.
Yeah. Jay Cage says, yeah, if players aggro, just hit the call button 3 times and let them bluff. That's not, it is. It's another play. Like, you can catch bluffs. Like I said, I don't think you're never getting by raising. I don't like because you're never getting a better hand to fold, and it's hard to get value from worse.
Yeah. So here's a fun flop here. So Frank with Ace Jack actually flops a monster 2 overs and gutter ball here at Broadway, which is actually going to put him damn near 50-50 against Anthony's force with this board. Oh man, I hate that board pair. When you got 4s, you're like, ugh. So many cards just completely counterfeit my hand, even if I was ahead. Frank the Tank and fire down. So Anthony checks over to Frank. Scary board for Anthony, and Anthony's gone. So and Frank's range, I mean, we've all known Frank could have any of that. All of that.
Yeah, all of it, yeah.
All of that. King deuce, queen deuce, I mean, king, queen, anything. Next question.
So Prop 3-bet says 6s by the river have showdown value sometimes, and turning 6s into a bluff isn't relatively bad. So once again, even though we can see the hands and we know that Mike had ace king, I don't think like turning 6s into a bluff would be better on an ace-side board, something like that, where you might be able to get your opponent to fold a better hand in the small blind if you 3-bet, kings, queens, jacks, 10s out of the small blind, and then the flop comes down ace XX, and he makes you maybe have some sort of read based on his bet sizing or some other physical read that he's got a pair over yours but under the ace. Then turning 6s into a bluff, I think, would be fine. Yeah. But on that board, I just don't feel like maybe that there's a need to do it. But like as it played, yeah, he's fine with the turn fold as well.
Guys, pay Nightbot a little attention there. He's kind of needy. He just wants you to hit that heart button there in the lower left corner and subscribe.
Nightbot has abandonment issues.
Nightbot is so needy. Nightbot's just like, ooh, look at me. Like,
don't ignore me.
You don't always have to be the center of attention, dude. All right, 6 ace king here, super rainbow. Top pair for Kelly. She's downgrading a little bit. Last time she had ace something, she flopped 2 pairs, so now she's only flopping an ace.
I appreciate it. Thank you. 40.
Looks like checked around. Frank bet 35 over to Kelly. I mean, I'm a fan of the name for obvious reasons. All right, she's gonna make the call. 5 on the turn. Kelly's still with the best here.
And Frank's gonna double barrel.
And Frank's drawing dead here. I mean, Kelly obviously does not know this, but it's a good feeling for Kelly here. Looks like Frank's gonna make it with about 100, something like that. Which is a pretty large bet relative to that pot. He makes it 80, pot was 115. And Kelly is not believing it. She's gonna look him up here.
7 on the turn, or on the river, I should say.
Does complete a possible weird backdoor spade draw. Check down. Kelly's gonna see the monster.
Frank?
Oh, I lied. I'm sorry. Kelly checked first over to Frank. Frank, not afraid of the triple barrel. What a beast. It was like 250, 225 with complete air.
So Kelly has a 9 in her hand, so she's blocking she's blocking the nuts. But it's hard to really put Frank on 8-9 the way he played the hand. So she's probably worried that she's up against a better ace.
Oh yeah, ace 10 or better. I mean, that's honestly what she's just thinking about. She's not. I mean, that's all she's thinking about is ace 10 or better. She's gonna let it go. The triple barrel works.
I almost said it on the turn that when Kelly's calling there, when she check calls the turn there with ace 9, she's probably check calling with the intention of check folding river if your opponent 3 barrels. Your opponent almost never is 3 barrel bluffing there on that board.
Yeah.
Because there's no real draw. I mean, you might have some Broadway draws, queen jack, king 10, jack 10, stuff like that.
Well, and here's the difference, right? So we talked earlier about Peter playing really snug and then picking up with aces, and you have Kyle right behind him just folding king jack instantly to a very small raise. You have different player ranges, right? Frank he can have any of that. He can have 2 pair, he can have the ace 10, he can have whatever. I mean, you know, whereas like I don't know. I mean,
Oh yeah, I mean, as the hand is played, I mean, ace queen, ace jack are, I think, are definitely, you know, hands that you can confidently value bet. If you're Frank and your opponent checks you, I mean, first you can forget about ace king. There was no 3-bet pre-flop.
Or any sort of pair and a draw, picking up 2 pair. I mean, those are all in Frank's range here. It's not like Frank's, but even if it wasn't though, even if you did have a more stuck player like Peter, he's still got you out kicked, right? Any sort of ace king, ace jack, ace 10, you know. Yeah, that's JKH bold strategy, but Frank has no fear, man. Absolutely. And Leo over here with aces from Malaysia.
And the sick part about that last hand is that Frank probably thought that Kelly had the exact kind of hand that she did.
Yeah.
A weak ace, and he says, okay, well, she can never call 3 barrels here.
Yeah. And that right there, I mean, obviously we all see this because it's on the stream, but that right there is a prime example of what we were talking about last time, where I never show my cards. I would never like show an ace, be like, all right, man, you got me in fold, right? Because then that's gonna give Frank this huge head, this huge like, you know what I mean? Like I don't do that, which she didn't obviously, but just in general, I think I'm talking to myself more than anything, and like never showing when I make a fold ever.
So Frank, the original aggressor here, makes it 20 to go. Peter makes a call. Leo makes it 85 to go with aces. Mike's gonna cold call the 3-bet under the gun, and there's a Zahn.
Appearance. He's like, yeah, guys, I'm back to my home club.
So now Frank's worried that, and that's a good fold by Frank. He's worried that the king 10's dominated by Leo's 3-betting range, which often, you know, Broadway cards are going to be.
Yeah, Peter's going to get out too, so we have battle of the pairs here. Pocket 1s versus pocket 4s. Let's see what happens. Boom. 5-8 deuce, 2 spades. Mike with the only spade here. Everybody misses, but that's not exactly a board for any sort of 2 high cards here. So if Mike puts Leo on just a couple like ace king, ace queen, couple overs, this could get a little funky.
The hard part for Mike is that he's going to be out of position on all future streets too.
Yeah, and that's the problem too. I mean,
if Mike was in position, he actually might, I think, definitely like call. Well, like it goes back to that, you know, that ace king versus 6 hand. It's effectively the same scenario I have here. A player, you know, ripping a very strong hand, you know, over pairs, and you know, and a player with a small pocket pair. If Mike's in position there, I think he peels ones with the intention of folding most turn cards, thinking that his opponent's never double barreling.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's why position's so huge, because you can afford to float there and you see what your opponent does in the turn. Maybe they slow down, maybe, you know what I mean? You don't know, but being out of position there and just trying to make like a hero call 3 times in a row, nobody wants that. Nobody got time for that.
Yeah.
It's funny, I think Azan's back. I think he's waiting for somebody to bust out of that stream over there. He's like, guys, man, I'm back. Get me on this table. I want it. I want some. I hear Frank's doing V straddles. I want all of it. Kelly with 8s from the button. She's definitely going to make the call. Anthony's gone. For Mike, mystery cards.
JKH is 2 barreling is the new C-bet 2016. I love it.
All diamonds. I don't know if Kyle's still on this board, but he would have open-ended with a second diamond draw right here. Okay, we're catching up.
Kyle was the original aggressor.
Oh, then he's loving it. Only time Kyle's in a pot and he raises, how does he flop open-ended every time? Right? He had 8-9, 6-7 flop. Now he's got king-jack. We got the queen-10 flop.
Because the honey badger's the best.
And all diamonds too. What a tank. What a monster. Kyle's not playing many hands, but man, when he does, he's running good. You know, I'll be honest with you. I kind of agree here with JKH 15, man. 2 barreling is the new C-bet in 2016. I totally agree. I see that all the time.
Well, as often as players like to float flops with you know, pocket pairs under the top, under the high card on the board.
Yeah.
With overcards.
I feel like the C-bet has become so standard that you just flatting or floating has also become standard. So the 2 barrel is the new C-bet. Like, I agree with that.
Yeah.
I totally agree with that.
It's like, okay, my hand, it's the way back in the day, like if whether or not a player, put in a bet or not on the flop, whether or not they really had something pre-flop when they raised. Now anymore, it's like I said, it's whether or not they decide to go ahead and fire turn.
Yeah. Julian would be so proud. I'm just like standard. It's all standard. Super standard.
Everything's standard.
So standard.
3 barreling, the new standard.
Oh man. So actually, I used to share a spot with Julian back in the day, and every time he'd just be like, he agreed with you or something. He's like, oh, it's standard, totally standard. Be like, hey, yeah, the cat threw up, and on the carpet or whatever. He's like, standard. Yeah, just standard, totally standard. That's how I could tell if you really knew Julian. I'm like, standard. They're like, oh yeah, that's the one. That was some delicious food. Come on down. Stones, new menu.
You get the lamb?
Tasty stuff. Yeah, super good.
Great. 20 total.
King Jack, Ace Jack, Ace Jack, Pocket Eights. Man, we've had a pocket pair like almost every hand. It's been a lot. It's been a lot.
All 5 players.
Casey's going to call out the King Jack out of the small line as well, and Frank 6-2 out of the big line will defend.
All right, King.
Big flop for Frank. Gut shot, straight flush draw.
Frank's if instantly did the double check of his cards, like, yep, that's what I do have. Just checking. All righty, so top pair for Casey with the King.
He was first to act though, so it checks through.
Yeah, he does well. Yeah, so it checks through, and look at this. Now Frank's got a pair with his flush draw.
Casey leads turn. Frank's just gonna call. Top
Jack.
2 now for Casey.
Top 2, that's called the I'm not going anywhere card. And he's gonna fire into Frank, which unfortunately Frank, it's one of those hands where Frank's like, yeah, I have the world and I'll call anything you want here on the flop return, and now I have nothing.
Frank is trying to find a hand that he can beat.
Matches my money, so I need that in my life. She wanted to stay fair.
Put on the money suit and go strolling around
That's
with
it.
a money-clad teddy bear.
I was talking earlier, I'm like, what's the only thing that could make my all-cash money suit more ridiculous? Oh, a matching teddy bear.
Perfect.
Like, why not?
Sir? One side. Play full mess. Got a great hand.
Max bet at 100. Man, that takes me back to, formerly this used to be a combination of a few different establishments, one of which being the Lucky Derby. Before we had no limit here in Sacramento, you had a spread limit game, which was a $200 max bet, which would always kind of change the dynamics a little bit because you'd have players sitting pretty deep. Everybody would have like $1,000 in front of them or something, and then you can't just shove all in. The guy, it's almost like a large limit game at that point because the guy's like, I know worst case scenario, I only have to call several $200 bets.
Yeah.
So that was a big of a change. So yeah, the max bet, even though it's no limit, but it's not really, it can be a little rough. Kind of limits your gameplay range there.
5 players.
Three, 4, 5. Super gutter ball here for Casey. The absolute monster little wheel here for Kelly with a possible running diamond draw. Top pair, open-ended for Tony. Frank's got a gutter. God, the only person who missed this flop is Mike.
He'll probably bet.
Mike's like, I don't care. Bring it. Running hearts, I win. So Tony bets 35. It's 35 for Kelly to call. Lots of cards here can kind of counterfeit her hand, so I think she's just going to raise here with the best of it, and she's going to get value from Tony all day here, so. She's going to make it 150. Sizable raise. I haven't really seen her in these pots raising yet, so that might be setting off some alarms for Tony. But I think Tony knows that even if he's behind, which he is, he's still got plenty of outs, so he's not really going to go anywhere here. Queen ball helps nobody. So Tony checks over to Kelly. Pot at 375. I think Kelly's going to fire this for sure. She's got the third nut. She might as well consider the nuts right now. Mr. Optics asking if there's a Pokestop close to Stones. Wow. Yes, you know what? I guess you can come here and play your Pokemon game. Just try not to run into anybody or get hit by a car. Or walk off a cliff or do any of the other stupid things people are doing.
Kelly bets 180.
It's a solid little bet. I mean, God, there's Tony's thinking like, man, like, there's so many cards that just mitt me right here.
Wow, and Tony sticks her.
Oh, wow. And really, the turn changed absolutely nothing, and she knows it, unless it possibly gave, you know, him a flush draw as well with his hand. JFK said no, but Khan caught a Pikachu by the liquor store across the street. Those hammer drunk Pikachus, man, always in the liquor store. So Kelly's gonna think about it here for a sec. Race to 500, 320 more. She's just gonna flat, and she looks like she goes maybe 550 behind, something like that. So let's see if this river takes it away from her. And it does not. Not the river Tony wanted to see. Tony was hoping he could just take it there on the turn. Pot's now a sizable pot we built here. 1,400 in the pot. You know, and obviously Kelly's not going anywhere. Tony checks it over to Kelly. Tony would never check a flush in this scenario. I think Kelly's got to fire it here, and she's just thinking about value.
Well, she's thinking would Tony.
What's he gonna call?
Well, she's thinking would Tony.
Do you think Tony would really?
Would he check 6-7?
Or 6-7 or 6 deuce? You think he'd check like the monster?
Well, it's harder for Tony to have
batter?
6 deuce, but so it's really when Tony checks 6-7 on when the back of her clubs get there.
Yeah.
I don't think he would.
Nice.
Kelly
Get it in
sniffs
there,
it out.
Kelly. Nicely done. And Tony now knows he's crushed.
So the graphic is on Kelly's not jamming 265 there. You see Kelly sticks in over 500 on the river.
Yeah, Kelly looks like she jammed about 550. There was 1,400 in the pot. It's gonna put this pot right around $2,000.
Right around 2K.
Yeah. And it looks like Tony, and I think the stack size is actually a little off too, because Tony's clearly got more than 300 there. He's out of there. Nice pot for Kelly. Wow, on fire. I think she's like 3 for 3 in her pots, man. Oh, except for the ace-9 she folded. But that doesn't matter after this pot, so who cares?
Yeah, we can forget about ace-9.
Yeah, don't worry about that. Nice hand, Kelly.
That'll be a fun one to watch.
What, bruh? Yellow Submarine. What's going on there, my friend? Hello, hello. So GKH here says, called that a suicide bluff from Tony after being raised by Kelly on the flop. I don't know. Maybe
If you
not.
think your opponent is capable of raising you with just a 6, or, I mean, the hard part of Tony is that Tony's got 5-6, so I mean, if you think that your opponent's capable of raising you with 5-6, it's not crazy. The problem is that you have 5-6, so it's harder for your opponent to have 5-6.
You're all about the blockers game. Blockers.
It matters.
Blockers.
Yeah, blockers. It really matters. So, I mean, that's the thing. You don't want to be blocking the hands that your opponent can be blocking you. You're taking bluffs out of the range when you're making aggressive moves like that. When you don't want to be blocking your opponent's bluffs. Exactly. You're like,
Don't be a
making
bluff
moves
blocker,
like that.
dude.
No bluff blocking.
Stop bluff blocking.
So it's harder if you think your opponent's capable of raising flop with just a 6, and or I guess if you think your opponent is capable of folding a set, then that's a whole other world. I mean, because then you can check raise turn. Hopefully, maybe get him to lay down a set. I don't think anyone's folding a set the way the hand's played. And then they're probably going to call, at least hoping to pair the board. You know, you're kind of wrecking the nuts. You know, and that's kind of what you're doing when you're check raising 6-7 there, or check raising that board. It looks like you're really saying that you got 6-7.
So look at this scary board here. No ace for anybody. We got a couple of jacks here with Tony and Frank, and we have a couple of pocket pairs with Misso here.
45. Cool. Our heads up.
All right, so both jacks are going to the river, and of course it's a super chop card. Not
Chopper.
surprised. Not surprised here. Pot's at 175. Tony's gonna try to take it away right now.
And he gets Frank off the
Nice
chop.
one, Frank. Nice one, Tony.
Good bet by Tony.
Yeah. There you go.
So yeah, I mean, going back to the other hand, like if you think your opponent is like super paranoid of the nuts, and you can get them to fold the set, then that's fine. Or then if you think that if they would then call a set and then fold to a river jam, that's another thing. I think I'm curious to see what Tony would have done had the ace not come off on river. I think maybe my opponent's gonna call a 4-3, 5-3.
No, that's actually a real good question because it completes the one card
deuce,
straight. I mean, and he could easily put her on a similar hand where she has a pair and she's open-ended with a deuce instead of the 6.
Yeah, no, but the hard part there, I mean, so I'm trying to defend. Tony.
What is she raising you with if she's
but how does she get in the pot with the deuce? I mean, pocket deuces.
Yeah.
It's
but she's not playing the same way.
Deuce 4, deuce 3, 5, deuce 6 deuce, or not 6 deuce.
But 5 deuce, 4 deuce,
3 deuce. You really have this kind of. So it's kind of like only pocket deuces is the only the only thing the ace does is changing the river because putting them back to the flush. So I guess your opponent would then maybe only flat a set and then fold to any non board pairing river. I mean, it's a big money bluff, but it can work sometimes, I suppose.
Well, and the thing is, that was turning into a sizable pot there.
That pot was getting big.
So I think at that point too, relative to your stack size, that can also kind of make players do some crazy screw it moves. Like the only way I can win is to fire it, or okay, well I'm already this deep, I might as well call. So that could also do some things here. I think
I find the F button.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And the OF it calls are the worst. You're Roman just sitting there with stacks of chips ready to dominate. Oh, the new game started by the way. That's why. But yeah, no, it's. The OF it calls are the scariest. It looks like we had Honey Badger pick up here. Kyle played like 3 pots, won all 3, and said, "On to the next, man. I'm out. Let's let a new player sit down." Try to get a sneak peek who it is over there. I can't see.
You can buy the blinds over there, or it's up to you.
That's like that last
Ooh, we have a seat available. Immediate seating. Jake, get in it. Go in it. I'll handle the rest. I know. You're thinking about it too. You're sick. You're sick, and I love it. Well, JFK Stones comes in the chat and says it's okay if you get in it. Just saying. It's not like you don't have to bankroll after you just crush, what, the 1-2 or the 1-3 the other day?
I crush everything.
I crush everything. They call me the Crusher.
Man, I got one.
Peter checking out here. Leo with some 8s. Oh, there you go. Kelly took the seat. Little seat change for Kelly here. Didn't help. 10 deuce. Gone. All right, so we got ace-10 versus Leo's 8s. 2, 4, 9, 2 clubs here on the flop. Casey with a couple of overs. Leo with the best here with 8s. Only 1 over against his 8s. It's got its game face on. He's going to fire. 75 in the pot, and Leo's going to fire, looks like 40, something like that. 40 bucks.
Could be a long night to the final 40.
And Casey's got position on him. He's going to check. He's going to call that and float him once. Oh, and bingo, bango. Ace for Casey there on the turn.
12, 13, that's a long time.
Is this what's the rake in this game? Time break or no? It's not a time break.
Yeah, maybe GC.
No, just
no rake.
Just
yeah,
$5
30 was 50 this year instead of 30.
Yeah, it's almost twice 25. Which I think is awesome.
Yeah.
I remember. It makes me want to actually a long time ago I made a bet.
How many did they get in the one drop?
Puts a funky 4-card straight on the board as well. So pot's at 155. Leo's going to fire.
And I don't think Casey's going anywhere.
Snap call by Casey. Cheat sheet.
That's with the final table. 50 people in it, right? The first one?
111,000.
Oh, that one, yeah. I was thinking of the first $1 million buy.
Read about that hand that JC and Taylor had in the
Kangle's funny. Anthony, man, raked a couple of huge pots there and scooped up to like 3K. Now he's just chilling. Sitting like 2.8, 2.9K, hanging out.
He's doing good. So
That's funny that hand that the missed cards about Mike.
Oh, Mike, I feel bad
His
about
friends
him.
needling him. I love it because you know they are. Because you know we've all played in the live stream before, and your friends are like, dude, how do you make that move, or how do you fold that, or how do you raise it, you know? And it's just like, guys, I didn't even have that. Leave me alone. Anyways, you were gonna say?
I think they're wrapping up day 7 of the series. We should have our November 9 today.
Coming down soon. Now, let me ask you that here. You make the November 9, right? You go deep in the series, you make the November 9. It gives you a couple months. What do you do in those couple months? Do you just practice single tables all day, every day?
Yeah,
do you get some poker coaching?
Yes, and when you do your single tables with the stack size things.
Absolutely.
You set it in mock
Why wouldn't you?
tables, yeah.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan. Literally, I'm a large fan.
Fun to watch on it. Yeah, one drop.
10 of diamonds peels off on the turn. Hits Tony. It checked through though, and Anthony's
look
set
at
of
that.
4s.
Monster set of 4s on the river. Out of nowhere.
Peter's looking to get a call, looking out with a 9.
And Anthony's like, hey, you guys didn't expect this, did you? Boom, set of 4s. Send that monster pot. Give me that $90. I'm buying drinks. I'll take it. Uh-oh. There's a question in the chat room for you, Jake.
Yeah.
What seat's available?
I do not know what's the seat. I think I don't know.
Hold down the 4 real quick. Hold down that 4.
All right, guys. I'm gonna let Jake out of the booth here for a minute. Sometimes we do let him out of the cage. Oh, now they're rallying for you. Who wants Jake to play? Yay! Well, you never know. Jake might get in here and get funky, and we might have a nice little solo journey together, guys. So let's see what happens. Let's root for that. Who doesn't want Jake to play in the game? That beard? It's like even money.
Feel like that's
All right, Frank's gonna make the call here with 8-9 suited. And Peter, been playing super tight. That's really the only hand. I mean, the other hand we've seen a raise besides pocket aces here. Look at this flop for Peter. King, queen, 4, 2 spades. Peter flops top 2 and second nut running spade. Good lord, when you're running good, you're running good. And he just bets it. Yeah, Frank's gone. Nothing to call.
They're taking their time coming over anyway.
Nothing to call here. Jake just wants to go take. Oh, is Kelly moving back? I think Kelly moved back to the seat. I love it. Kelly's like, you know what, man? I tried the seat switch. It didn't work out for me.
15 break or 20?
And now Kelly's twice on the board.
Okay.
I'm on a budget tonight.
Last 15. Last 15.
Yeah, Nip Poker. Kelly actually moved back to her other seat, so she's jumping around a little bit. All right, looks like we got a raise to 45 from Peter. And over to Mike. It seems like every time somebody has a big pair, Mike also has a pair. Always stuck in the fun positions here. And looks like Frank's a little premature, but now that he knows Frank's going to call, Casey's probably going to get in there, get a little value. Frank's coming in. All right, we got 4 players going to this flop. Daniel, Pavel, thanks for watching here. All right, ace, deuce, 4. Casey, great flop for Casey here. Top pair, wheel draw. Just totally crushes over Peter's queens and Mike's 10s here. Oh, I was just kidding. Look at that turn for Peter. Monster queen there.
I just said Frank's drawing 10 on the turn. I'm not sure.
Just for you, no problem.
Alright, Peter's gonna fire it out. Looks like Casey made it 75. And Peter's gonna
Card
make it 2
reader's
1/4.
wrong, that's not what I had.
And that's such a huge board for Casey's hand. I mean, he's got top pair, wheel draw, now he's got the nut flush draw.
Show me Jack 8, but it was 8 Jack.
He's gonna make the call. It's gonna be a nasty river.
No, they got one right.
Boom. All right, board pair. It's gonna give Peter the super monster nut boat here. And looks like action first on Casey's gonna check it over to Peter.
I thought you had the king. No, honestly. I thought you had the king.
Master C, welcome to the chat. All right, so Peter's gonna make it 360 here on the river, pumping the pot up to just shy of 1,000. And Casey's thinking, what can I beat here? Because I mean, unfortunately, he just ended up going brick for everything. So he's really just got, I mean, best for a chop, really. I mean, aces and fours, queen kicker on the board. He may almost be thinking about if he's going to call for a chop here, and I don't think he's really a huge fan of it here. We're going to find out, though. I agree with you, JKH. It is a slightly larger bet. 360, pot's about 1,000. Less than 3 to 1. I don't know. And he correctly lays it down. Nice mug, Casey. Peter, what a turn for Peter there with those queens. Jeez. You're good. And guys, pay attention to Nightbot there because, he is definitely needy and wants you to know that this month, Veronica and Friends, it's actually been changed. It's Wednesday, July 27th. And I don't know if you haven't seen a Veronica and Friends game before, but definitely tune in. It's an absolute blast. We might be having the man himself join us right now, I believe.
It's been long overdue.
I know, the J&J, hello!
The J&J show. How you been?
Justin and Justin, hello, JK.
See if I remember how to do this. It's been a while.
Gosh, it's been like several days.
Hours.
20s of hours.
How's everybody doing? What's up? Am I logged in as Jake here?
Yeah, so you always
Hi,
log in as Jake.
I'm Jake.
Oh man, that gives you a lot of power. So
that is. Who should I harass first?
Harass everyone.
So this game's been pretty interesting. We have someone that watches us from the other side of the world here playing.
Super rad.
And he's got a huge following in there, which is pretty cool.
I love that he's out here for work and he's like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go to Stones and play in the live stream.
He actually contacted me like 3 or 4 months ago, said he wanted to get on the stream, and I'm like, absolutely, I'll lock this up for you. I would love to have our global audience join us. Play some poker.
Sure.
So in about 20-25 minutes from now, when the delay catches up, you guys get to see Jake play some poker. I heard he's pretty good.
I've seen him play once or twice.
Okay.
Just once.
Right.
I've seen some Snapchats. I've seen him call down with ace high, so that already makes me a fan.
Looks like we got a cool hand shaping up here. Leo has flopped 2 pair. We got a board with some straight possibilities.
Casey flopped a super nut here.
Yes.
Yeah, look at this.
Okay, so we might have a little matchup with Leo and Casey here. The nut straight versus 2 pair. No one else with too much to work with here.
Tony with bottom pair and a gut shot. But something tells me this could get expensive pretty quick.
It's a dream flop for Casey.
Everybody's got a pair and a flush draw. Even Frank here with his queen. He's got a pair and a flush draw too. Or a pair and a straight draw.
Well, running flush draw.
Yeah, sure. It's there. It's possible. All right, 5 on the turn. Super brick helps nobody. We can still see some more fireworks here. Pot's just under 400. And Casey checks it over to Leo. Very sneaky. And Leo here thinking it's very easy for Leo to put Casey on any sort of pair straight draw hand. Queen 10, Jack 10, 9 10, any of those combos, you know, Casey is basically playing the exact same way here. So he throws out a little check for Leo to build this pot for him, and it looks like that's what Leo's going to do.
Last call, Tony. 1-2-11, poker.
Apparently I'm computer illiterate.
Just pop into, go to twitch.com or twitch.tv in a different browser and just log out.
You're so smart.
I've done this before.
That's MRT.
Never do it in Firefox.
Oh, he's in that one already. All right. No, he's already in Firefox. No, I'll go in a different browser. Don't touch my computer.
Okay. I'm just kidding. No, you're not hammer drunk. There is 2 Justins in the booth. You are seeing the double JK terror here. So, as expected, Casey puts in a solid raise here to 4 1/4. So it's 215 more for Leo to call. And I think Leo could definitely suspect some fishiness here. However, top 2 pair on a board like that is not exactly easy to throw away. I mean, literally the only hands that are beating you. Well, I mean, there's a set potential, but literally it's 8-10 or King 10.
That's pretty brutal.
And so it's not like you want to muck that away. And Leo's gonna make the call. And king ball on the river. Now, this is actually gonna kill a lot of Casey's action, because if he did have that pair with the straight draw potential, it's blatantly obvious that he hit it now, because he would definitely have any sort of 10 in his hand with his kicker. And Casey makes the all-in move, and Leo mucks. And actually, I think that river ends up saving Leo money, because if that river is another super blank, like a red deuce or red 3, you know, depending on what Casey bets, Leo could potentially pay him off there. So, not a bad river for Leo, actually. Little does he know. You'll find out here in about 20 minutes. So that puts Casey up on the top chip stack here, the big dog, with 3,200. Followed closely by Anthony with about 27. Angry Pollock in the chat, gonna sweat you.
So when I was trying to log in here, I actually, instead of an I accidentally put an O into Stone's Love Poker.
Ooh.
Totally different website. Holy crap.
I immediately regret this decision.
I wasn't trying to make you see that. No, you can't unsee it.
If the firewall pulls up some sort of bad, you know, block there, I did not mean it, but intentional.
That's how you get computer viruses.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if we were doing it on a Mac, it'd be one thing, but...
Oh, it's like that?
PC.
Name dropping.
Yep.
No, Mike, I thought we were going to watch the one drop.
Oh, I think I can hear you in the back talking.
That would have been fun.
A little bit, yeah. You should put in this headphone. You can hear yourself. It's awesome.
Oh, that's so
I
exciting.
would have suited you well, I think.
Oh, no, I just heard your Mac thing on delay. That's what it was.
Yeah, it's 35.
Yeah, I know what's going on. Let me fix that for you.
Nice.
Better.
I'm like, whoa, deja vu.
I'm smart. SMRT. Smart.
It's true. I'm done. DUM.
I didn't get a chance to verbally say hi to everyone in the chat room. I know I was chatting over there. I'm fortunate tonight that I could get Jake out of here, come and commentate, because I have a helper.
Yes.
Yeah, we are training a new Stones Live host tonight. She's doing excellent, by the way.
Absolutely.
So excited to have her, and really, this is how we train you. We just throw you right into the fire.
Yeah, no, I mean, trial by fire. That's how we do it here.
She either can do it or she can't.
You sink or you swim, guys. That's how you learn to swim.
See ya.
Throw you in the ocean.
Yep.
I like it.
Well, they're paying $15 an hour at McDonald's.
That's how we breed winners. That's how we do it.
All right, new hand shaping up here, and let's get to the action. Peter says no way, he's getting away from it. And we have 4 ways to a flop. Ooh, that's a fun one.
4 super fun hands. Unfortunately,
with the flush draw.
I really want to see all those bottom hands just hit all of each other there, because we're glutton for punishment.
Right.
But none of that happens.
We want blood.
Yeah, it's true. Kelly with top here, way ahead, way out ahead.
Frank with the flush draw. This could get dangerous for Kelly. She has proven herself so far to be a pretty savvy player, though.
Yeah.
Getting away when she needs to get away, but also making moves when she needs to make moves. And she's got the moves.
Yep.
She
Quick question in the chat room. What no-limit games regularly go here at Stones? a lot.
Name one.
1, 2, 1, 3, 2, 5, 5, 5, 5, 10, 10, 25. I don't know.
Yeah, as far as the
Keep
stream's
going.
concerned, we go all the way up to the 1025. The first Wednesday of every month has historically been a fantastic game. This Wednesday, we had a little change in our schedule. We're actually going to be broadcasting a 1-3 no limit. I only have 2 seats left in that, so if you're interested, I'll type my information in the chat box here, and you can reach out to me and lock up your seat right now. It's shaping up to be a great game. And I just got confirmation from the one, the only, the infamous will be joining us on Wednesday, but I'm not going to tell you who.
Ooh,
I'm just kidding. I'll tell you.
bated breath.
It's J-Mac. J-Mac's coming back, making his first Stones Live debut since coming back from the WSOP.
I refer to him as the fearless J-Mac.
So it looks like Kelly got Trip Queens here on the river. There is straight possibilities, but Frank has missed his flush draw, so it doesn't really matter what he does here. He can't win. He may try and take a shot at it. Kelly's checked it to him.
Yeah.
Now, do you think she's checked to try and induce a bluff, or do you think maybe she's scared of that straight?
I think she could be a little bit scared of that straight. I think she's just in check call mode, right? We've all done it.
Yeah, she's not getting away from it.
Yeah, no, we're in check call mode. We're like, I'm going to check, and if you want to hang your own rope, great. Otherwise, I'm content with the pot as it is.
Kelly's stacking more chips.
Yeah,
so,
she is.
first time appearance on the stream, and she's crushing souls.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah.
Soul crushing. It's a good business to be in. Soul crushing is very profitable.
I want to crush some souls.
I do.
How do you do it?
Well, I might see Jake getting here and crush some souls. I mean, it's one thing to, kind of watch the stream as kind of a sideline thing while you're sitting there playing, like some of these players do. But it's another thing to literally be sitting here watching every hand, analyzing every hand, talking about every hand, and then going to sit in that exact same game right here.
Now, is that unfair? Is Jake unfair there? What do you think?
No, he's not good enough to have a really big edge. He's fine. He's fine.
I see Jake moseying back here. So what did he go play 1 or 2 hands and then wander around?
Yeah. Jake's just in it for the looks. He's trying to get that Hollywood modeling contract. He figures if he's in there with the beard and the right lighting.
Well, he saw that I got it, so he's like, this must be the way. You do a commentator on Stones Live Poker, get a modeling contract.
I've already got mine.
Ready for my blue steel?
I've already got mine. It's pretty good. It's strong. We'll screenshot that for later. So I noticed some new lighting up in the Stones Live.
Yes.
Yeah.
We call it the nuclear lighting.
Nice.
Actually, if you notice on the stream watching at home, the cards are crisp. You can see the players now. We already broadcast in HD, but now we have their photo lights.
Nice.
So everything is really crisp. The only thing right now is they're hanging a little low, so they're blinding you from across the room. We're going to fix that tomorrow.
Nice. Yeah, no, it really pops. I mean, and looking at it on the stream here, I mean, it highlights the table. Yeah, it highlights the table really great, man.
So as everyone that follows us faithfully knows, we're constantly making upgrades. We are in the process of rebuilding our entire network to a standalone network. We're getting a brand new broadcast computer and server, and we are upgrading our software as well. So there's going to be a lot of very beautiful visual changes coming to the production soon. We're excited to be constantly improving and innovating and bringing you the absolute best poker live stream. Can I say that? Can I say it's the best?
The best, yes.
The best poker live stream.
Bring it.
In Northern California, at least, at a minimum.
At a minimum.
At a minimum.
I'm going to say
maybe the world.
all of California.
Maybe the world.
Which is basically 2 different states anyways.
Yeah,
so,
that's true. That's true.
It's good. We're the best in 2 states, the best on the West Coast.
Best in the West. It has a nice sound. I like it.
Gay Corpse, what's going on, my friend? Always a pleasure.
Jubilant Corpse.
Doing it.
All right, we are now playing a 7 max game for the moment. Plastica wants to know if we can get some snazzy headsets like Tuck wears in the WSOP.
Ooh.
What's snazzy mean?
I don't know.
I've never heard of snazzy, but it sounds nice.
We'll find out. I wanted to get some like Secret Service style headsets. They come down here and I'm just like, there's a shooter in the bushes. There's a shooter in the bushes.
The Matrix has you.
It's true. Follow the White Rabbit. Undead Johnny 138, welcome to the chat, my friend. Another avid watcher.
Yeah, and Mustak. Mustak has joined us. Apparently, Angry Polak got him some wheat coffee. Sorry to hear that.
I believe it. Angry Polak. That's because Angry Polak gave him wine, and he's like, "This coffee sucks. This is the worst coffee ever."
So we know we usually on Wednesday, the 3rd Wednesday of the month, we typically will bring you Veronica and friends. Veronica had another unfortunate stripper pole accident and will not be joining us this Wednesday, but she will be recovered by next Wednesday.
You know what? You think she'd be better by now? She has so many of these accidents.
I actually. I tried to see if I could get hurt in the same way, and I did it fine. I went upside down on the pole, spin around,
You know
everything. I'm pretty good.
It's because she's always pushing the limits. She wants to be the best. She's taking it to that next level. So.
Yes.
Or she's just on that mom juice when she's doing it. Either way.
I tried the mom juice. It's pretty yummy.
Yeah. Well, Wine Wednesdays here at Stones, always a fan.
Yes. So this coming Wednesday, 1-3 no limit. I'm typing join, and Nightbot will give you all the information. Contact me if you want to get in that game. We'd love to have you. 2 seats left right now. And the return of J-Mac. It's going to be fanfare.
The return of J-Mac.
Yeah.
I feel like it should have its own intro, like some earth-crushing just...
J-Mac was at the WSOP, you know,
Yeah.
so a lot of players coming back now. So we're going to see a lot of our regulars that you've been missing over the past 6 weeks will be joining us.
Absolutely. But you know, actually, it's been really refreshing because when we don't have all of our regulars, you get to see plenty of new faces. I mean, we're seeing Malaysia here, we're seeing Kelly, we're just hanging out. I mean, unfortunately, we always see Anthony though. Good old call your mother. He's always here. He's hanging out. He's good. So top pair here for Leo.
Leo hits the ace. Kelly looks like she got out of there, and Frank got out of there.
Gone, taking it down.
Hey, easy money.
It's funny. I watched one of Leo's fans get in there earlier. He's like, "Yeah, I'm here rooting for Leo from Malaysia," and it's like dot dot dot. But I might have changed my vote to Kelly because she's pretty awesome too. Like, dang it.
Kelly found out about the stream online, contacted me through Twitter last week. How do I get on the stream? And I was like, well, it just so happened you're talking to the right guy.
It's true.
Absolutely love to have you on. And she's been great in the game, a very talented player, and hopefully she had a good time and we can get her back.
Good.
Please fold. Welcome to the chat.
Oh, please fold. It's been a while. How you been?
I just feel like I'm always repeating that in my head when I'm at the table. Please fold, please fold, please fold.
Please fold.
They're like raise. I'm like, ugh. All right, over to Anthony Call Your Mother here from the small blind with Ace King. Looking at a $30 raise from Peter, who again has been playing pretty snug. So we're gonna see if that affects Anthony's move here, and it does. He's just gonna flat call here. Let's go let him Mike here with 10 jack. Look at this, every card tied up from 9 to ace, and ace king 6.
Wow.
Flop for Anthony.
Oh my God.
What a beast.
I think Anthony likes the flop.
Just a little bit.
Mike did flop gut shot, and a check is good for him, give him an opportunity to see a free card, although Peter is holding one of his queens. So maybe only 3 of them left.
And, you know, Peter being the original aggressor here, yeah, he bet 65. I'm not surprised that Peter's going to c-bet this. And Anthony's just going to flat call here.
Chance to call. Is this worth 65 to Mike? Looks like it might be. He's grabbing for chips, and queen would be disastrous for Anthony. Fortunately for him, the 4 rolls off. Anthony now with 91% in this hand. Huge. I think check is the right play.
I think you'll have to get Kelly's Twitter handle over to Angry Polak. I think she might make an appearance at a Veronica and Friends game. / Veronica and Prisoners.
First she has to become friends with Veronica. I heard that's the rule. Because I asked Veronica if I could play in her Veronica and Friends game. She said no, only friends.
Veronica is very snug with her friend list, dude. Very snug. You can be removed for just about anything. All right, and looks like on the big stacks here, man, we got the 3 big stacks. 3.3 for Leo, Casey right beneath there at 3.2, and Anthony at almost 3. Some solid cash.
I'm sorry, Veronica. In the chat room, I do not give out people's personal information. Nice try, though.
It's true. No fishing for names here.
Oh, here it comes. Here it comes.
Here it comes. mad, angry trolling. Here it comes. Buy or wine, easy game.
The whole chat room's like, yeah, give us their Twitter handle.
Yeah.
Liquid Asian, that's correct. Jake got in the game, but I think only for a hand or 2. And I'm looking over there. It looks like someone else has joined the game, which it begs the question: where's Jake?
I think Jake just wanted some time off. I think Jake was like, oh, he's the excuse to leave Justin and Justin show, so that's what we're doing.
How dare he?
Classic Jake.
Ace Jack versus Pocket Tens, heads up to this flop, and poor Tens. The Jack hits. It's one of those heartbreaking moments in poker when you have a good starting hand and a horrible board. Pocket pairs tend to be magnets for overcards. It's statistically proven if you have a pocket pair, there will be an overcard 70% of the time,
and
every time.
If you have queens or kings, there's always an ace.
Always.
Always an ace.
Always. Especially if your name's Justin.
It's true. Can you relate?
Totally.
I totally relate.
Feel me?
Yes. Every time.
150.
All right, that's the
and I
check
was
mark
pounding
for
all
Frank with his jack, and easy enough to take it down. Nice hand, Frank. Frank, of course, always ready to mix it up here on the game.
So he's right at the same time.
Yeah, Frank, no fear. I mean, the cool thing I like about Frank is he gets splashy, he has a big open range, but that doesn't mean he's like some sort of donkey, you know what I mean? Like, Frank is able to get away from situations where he knows he's behind. I mean, earlier, like, even though Frank will get splashy with some, you know, maybe we'll call it non-traditional cards, earlier we see him fold a flush draw against, you know, a three-way action pot, these other two guys have him crushed, and he's gone. He just gets out, you know what I mean?
Yeah, look at the chat room, that's great.
Yeah, there's a dress code here?
You make an excellent point, Gotha Twitch, and thank you for joining us in the chat room. Yes, we did not coordinate our outfits today.
I know, but we're basically right on point. So the thing is, he's actually wearing the same shirt, you just can't see it because he's tied up with
These
his
are my
tie.
pajamas, I sleep in these.
Yeah.
Very comfy.
Those are those like Hugh Hefner suit pajamas.
All right, Mike wakes up with queens here, and we're going to get a little Razy Daisy from him.
Is that different than a normal raise?
Yeah, Razy Daisy's slightly different.
I thought it was. I was just confirming.
Now, it's always fun to see matchups like this where you have these middle suited connectors and a big pocket pair. And if Leo decides to come along, these types of cards can be soul crushers.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But this is going to go down pre-flop. Mike going to scoop it with pocket queens.
I love it. Look at that. All of a sudden the chat just wakes up. You get Justin.
I love the chat room.
You get JFK in the booth and people's going down.
It's just, I don't even want to comment. I just want to watch the chat room. It's so entertaining.
We're going to sit here and watch the chat. You guys watch the game.
We just hold the chat room up to the screen and the chat room will be the whole show.
Done. We need to get this Minority Report like hologram thing going on here.
Thank you guys. I need to warn everyone in the chat room, I am very susceptible to flattery.
Oh God. Put it out there. Just throw that out. Just in case.
It's my weakness.
Yep.
I can't deny it. Was that a V-straddle? Please Fold says that Frank V-straddle, but I didn't see a V-straddle. V-straddle has to be...
Yeah, it's got to be the V.
Yeah.
It's got to be a solid amount. I can V-straddle with like $1 chips.
Not with fives?
No, not with fives.
Don't be cheap.
So, you know, we had a player earlier in the chat room asking about different limits here. You know what I like about a lot of these games is that even though it might just be like a 1-2, maybe a 1-3, I would say that everything plays like the next level above it, right? The 1-2 plays like the 1-3, the 1-3 plays like the 2-5, which really can maximize your upside potential and kind of minimize your risk. A lot of fun. A lot of fun. Definitely highly recommend if you guys haven't checked out Stones yet to hop in. Check it out. You'll see this guy in a suit. You'll see me in a ridiculous shirt. It's always good times. Always good times. So my goal here, guys, is to not double up on the funny shirts, and so far I'm thinking it's 16
Yeah,
different
you're doing
shirts.
pretty good. Don't you have a sponsorship by now, or what?
I do, yeah. So just a little cooler.
I see that.
You know, just
Are
a
you?
little, just a little cooler. It's an igloo.
T-Bird says, I saw JK and Stones once laying on a table getting a massage, and I think the suit was still on. I think he failed to mention that I also was holding a glass of wine.
Well, you did say you sleep in the suit, so let's call it what it is. You know what I mean?
But why wouldn't you? It's so comfy.
Yeah. It's called adult pajamas. All right, look at this flop here. 6-7 for Peter. Top pair, gutter ball. Frank's got the super gutter ball.
Interesting matchup here between these two hands, and we're going to get a turn card.
Scary card for everybody.
Yes.
Nobody's got it. 4 cards straight on the board. It's very easy for any of them to have a pair with a 4 there. Mom choosing.
There's Sasha deciding what game to get into. Do I want that game behind, or do I want to?
I love Ben like I love it.
Want to prop bet on what game he takes?
No. Let me look first.
We are in the time warp here. Of course, the commentators coming to you absolutely live. The game 20 minutes behind. That's the nice thing. It's almost like watching a NASCAR race. Why do people watch? To see cars turn left?
No.
They want to see the fiery crash.
It's true. And fiery crashes ahoy. We definitely have a lot of those in this game.
And sometimes in the commentator booth.
This is true, but
Veronica's not here.
I would say only if it's with Veronica Whipped.
Veronica's not here.
With Veronica.
Love you, Veronica.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I would love. Speaking of which, since the series wrapping up, we should get Val, our very own Val, back fairly soon. Right?
She is coming back soon. She's on the calendar. And we do have our first Veronica and Valerie matchup. I believe it's August 10th.
The V&V?
The V&V show.
As long as you get Frank doing in there, the V straddle, we got V cubed. Oh, look at Jake. Look at Jake.
Oh, come on, Jake. Get it.
There he is. I can see Jake outside. Oh, Jake's talking to him from his J-Mac.
Yes, J-Mac has returned.
Oh, wow.
All right, we got a couple clubs there, and that's Casey with the Nut Club draw. Did we really go 7 ways to this flop?
Oh, man.
God, everybody has a little something. Leo, unfortunately, with the smaller club draw, if he decides to get crazy here, could get in some trouble. Actions around to Casey, who's putting in a bet. And I can't see how much it is, but it's enough to get Frank to fold at least.
$40.
Tony with his 8-9. He's coming along. He's going to see one more card at least, as long as someone behind him doesn't raise.
Jason Genova for life. Yes, that is, according to the chat, that is indeed one of the commentators. That was Jake, who was just sitting here with me a few minutes ago. And he is sitting down to hang out and play a few hands, see what happens. And clubs complete on the turn, giving a flush to Leo and a flush to Casey.
Oh no, Leo.
Why?
Careful, buddy.
Here?
And both of them sitting on a little over 3,000 in chips. I think Casey has a little tell there. He got a big grin on his face when that turn card peeled off. Hopefully, for Leo's sake, he can pick up on that.
Oh, he sure did. Looks like nice.
Good job, Casey, with the nut flush. Takes this one down. We're not going to see a river card, and really no need.
Jake signing a waiver just in case because he's not already on the TV stream. But that is your protege there, and she's doing quite the good job.
She appears to be, yeah.
Making sure Jake is signing his life away here.
We'll just have the chat room vote whether she keeps her job or not.
To appear on the stream, you actually have to sign a waiver to give away your firstborn, and there you are. So stop freaking me out in 2 places.
I'm telling them right there. I'm going. Make sure you raise with C1 bets.
Always raise. Always be raising.
Brandon, I'll take another 5.
Chips, please, 911.
There we go. Yeah, Whopper, I was in the same boat as you. I thought for a second there he folded and he was getting the pot pushed to him, but that is not the case here.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Yeah, so
maybe it was a side pot.
Yeah, we just do a little fun reversal here. Sometimes we like to do that, catch things up.
They tricked me.
You know. So pot about $500 here. Leo checks over. Casey the nuts. I think Leo's in check call mode, and unfortunately for him, that is just not.
Yeah, I don't think he can get away from this here. Especially Casey's bet sizing is perfect here. In a $800 pot, 300 is a very inconspicuous bet. It's going to be hard with a two card flush for Leo to lay it down. There's not much danger on this board.
No, I know.
There's not much.
And he lays it down. Nice fold.
Wow,
What a beast.
I'm very impressed.
What a beast.
Now we can officially say Casey has scooped this pot. What happened before?
I have no idea. I thought I saw all the chips like in front of him.
I thought I did too.
Maybe that was his bet. I don't know. I
Is
mean,
there a glitch in the matrix?
Yeah, I have no idea. There's definitely a glitch. I saw the white cat. I don't know what happened. And yeah, guys, that is not wrong. You do see the bearded wonder, my commentator from earlier, Jake Rosensteel, sitting
now,
in the game.
You might not know this yet, but Jake is actually rocking the beard cam, which was just featured at the WSOP.
I love the
So we're going to be going to Periscope on the beard cam with Jake, and we'll be able to get right in there on the table and see what's going on in his pot.
It's very easy to hide a little camera in the beard. Nobody sees it coming.
Well, he used to raise baby birds in there.
Yeah, that's true. He sets up his game a little bit more high tech.
I swear I'm not drunk.
No, not yet. Not yet. Eldar 8, hello, my friend. Bonjour.
And there's Angry Pollock in the chat box, recruiting players for her game next week.
Classic. When she's not here, she's at home. She's like, this is so much easier from home and just hang out and troll everybody online. Go to the flop. Let's see the monster. Boom. 8, king, 3, 2 diamonds.
5 players to this flop, and Kelly's up first. She checks. Anthony checks, and now we're around to Frank with ace 3. He has hit a little piece of the board, gonna check. Peter checking with nothing, and Leo checks as well. 8 hits no one. No one has clubs. So why not? Frank says, why not? I'm gonna take a little shot at it. That's enough to get Peter and Leo out of there. Kelly says no way, and Anthony can't call. 2 pair, 8s and 3s is enough to take it down.
So we got Frank and Tony here on the short stack, 715 and 675, but not too crazy respectively. I mean, even sort of double up there. These guys are right back in the milestone. I mean, and they're not even in all-in mode here as it is anyways. You know, they're just chilling.
Waiting on you.
What? You're choosing on.
You don't even notice that.
Do you want us to know?
Why'd you do that? Why'd you do that?
I'm not getting stuck on it.
Yeah. All right, guys, that's it. I was
Are
just
you gonna
thinking
commentate on yourself?
A little
I'm so
cameo,
excited.
little tiny cameo. We got Jake back. He's the professional. He's the one that can handle this business.
Well, we brought Jake back.
I didn't say professional. What?
The beard cam failed. That's why we brought
Yeah,
him back.
we were talking how you were rocking the beard cam for the first time, featured at Stones, the Periscope beard cam. Well, not you though. We're talking about you. All right, guys. Here's Jake. Thank you for having me.
Hey, thanks for hanging out, dude. It was nice to get a double
Like
dose
old
of Justin
times,
from
like old
you.
times.
Yeah. Just like back in the day here. Casey waking up with Kings over here against Frank's King Jack.
Are you ready? Kings versus King Jack versus Jack 10. Who will win? Only one will emerge.
Sorry, sometimes we just go for the movie preview voice and we just kind of gotta go for it here. Alrighty. Back in the booth. The Bearded Wonder. I'm really excited to watch you talk about yourself here for a minute. I'm really excited.
Not much to talk about.
Oh no, I'm even more excited. Alright, so let's see here. Look at this. King on the flop. King, set of kings for Casey. Case king right there. Frank also has a king. Yeah, super epic here.
What did Jason do here? Or not Justin do?
Yeah. He logged into Twitch in Chrome and you were in Firefox. So you just need to stay in Firefox and maybe relog yourself in. Justin broke it, that's what happened.
Jeez. Jake busted already. Yeah, Jake busted already. Sure, that's what happened.
It's definitely what happened.
So which one of these is me? That's gotta be. That's Crowns.
Do a
Jake
little
Ross.
test, yeah.
Yeah, that's.
Do a test. Say hi.
Firefox.
Say hi. Make sure it's still logged in.
So, where's the RTMP? Boom, RTM play, RTMP.
And, alright, going to the river here. We are back.
There we go.
So, about 600 in the pod here.
Jakeception. Lots of fun.
Always Jakeception. Always time for Jake.
Casey said Kings. I think this is the first time I saw when I sat down.
Casey, Monster is going to scoop this pot here for 1.4K. Super solid.
Yeah.
Nice.
So as you can see there, the graphics are wrong. Frank was not all in for 390, but he definitely just paid off, looks like about 500 for Casey on the river. So a solid pot. Solid pot with a set of kings for Casey.
So, I just sit down. He said I wasn't down for long, and now I got a new player coming in. They initially asked me. I got all excited. They said, "Oh, do you want Jason wants to play in the game, and if we do it, I'm like, yeah, sure." And I thought I heard them say Jason M for Jason Mick Roberts. I thought Mick Roberts was getting in, but we got Jason M. Jason M's great too.
Okay.
I was all excited. Like, oh my God, Jason M.
No, it's great because I'm just like, there's no way Jake just caught some super sick cooler. I was like, because then Jake's gonna be over here and it's gonna be like, he's gonna be just talking about how he plays his own hand like a nit. He's like, watch how bad I play this hand.
No, had I run bad, play bad, something like that, I would be at the bar. I would not be back in the booth.
Yeah, no. He looks over, he's like, no, I don't want to be back in there. I want nothing to do with that. Oh, that's funny.
So we got Jason in the game now. I didn't even play a hand.
No, I know. You folded a hand there.
I folded King 8, would have made it 8 fold, yeah, but like, I mean, no one cares what you folded.
Kind of a big deal.
No, I can only be one player at the table tonight, apparently.
You better get it in.
Deciding how much you want to bet on it.
Tony made it 115 pre. Is that right?
I can't believe we didn't have 10 dudes.
All right, well, while you guys are always hanging out, I'm gonna take a quick super 2-minute breather, and I'll be right back. I'll get you some more water. I'm not gonna go over there and just sit and fold and play a hand, but I think it's funny. I think it's funny how she had you sign the photo disclosure waiver, and I'm like, guys, he's right. You know what? She's just doing her job. She's in training. You know, I thought I thought they were gonna ask for your autograph when you sat down at the table. You're like, ooh, this is the big.
All right. Here we go. Flying solo.
Tell him, leave me alone. I don't want.
Tony elects to limp under the gun, king 10 off. Kelly's gonna open up the pot and make it 15 to go, 7-8 off. Mike can go either way with his hand. He's suited, so he's gonna have more value at showdown more oftentimes, so he likes to just flat. 10-10 Dewey. And Tony, who probably got a little ambitious limping the king 10 off under the gun, is paid dividends on the 10-10 deuce. Tony bets 40. He's only really getting value from hearts. No one's got it. He takes down the pot. So did I miss any like really good hands? So there's like a half-hour play that I was out of the booth. There's a delay before I actually got to see myself sit down at the table, not play any hands, and come back. I felt really kind of like a dick when I sat down. Leo's had like a ton of chips. Like, oh wow, what happened? Like, you know, who'd you take a big pot off of? And he's like, no, it's like this is all rebuy here. That got involved in a pretty big cooler against Casey, I guess. Ghost of M asks, why did Tony lead on the paired nothing board? I kind of tend to agree. I'm kind of curious about that myself. I mean, you're only really getting value from hearts. So Kelly opened the pot, and Ante put in this 3-bet with ace king. Kelly defends, or I'm sorry, Kelly calls, I should say. Jacks. Anthony checks back. He feels that Kelly's going to have a lot of overpairs when she calls a 3-bet out of position, and just think he can get her off. Ace on the river. Kelly hates it. If you're Anthony, you know you got the best hand. It's gonna get hard to get called though. I think Kelly might though, just because of the way the hand played out. I wouldn't have minded if Kelly would have folded them either. I mean, just because, unless Anthony's 3-betting really light with like 9s, 8s, stuff like that. I mean, and all this stuff that he's going to 3-bet and then check back flop, check back turn, is going to be a lot of ace-x type stuff. So when the ace comes on the river, I think you can check fold. But that said, when you're playing the hand that way, you can catch bluffs, and I think you can check calling, probably not the worst either. JKH says that Kelly should bet the turn. The turn did bring 2 flush draws out there, so if Anthony had checked back ace, or had 3-bet and then checked back ace king ace queen of clubs, where he would have picked up a flush draw on the turn, then she could extract value from those hands. Other than that, I actually would almost rather, if I'm Kelly, check the turn as she did and try to catch Anthony bluffing. I think she leads, and Anthony doesn't specifically have a flush draw. he just folds. Unless Anthony decides to, hero with ace king, if he thinks that she would maybe flat 3-bet pre, and then
I've got something to
check
work
check
on.
and
I've
then
been
lead
saying it
with like ace queen.
I don't believe in Carmel one bit. I don't.
8 to 9's would check everybody, or 8 to 9's 3-betting pre-flop. That's the question.
I do believe in that. I mean, in something.
Card table.
Not.
Angry Pollock, my best friend in the world, in the chat, needling me as usual.
I brought you more agua. Have some water. Some Stones water.
Thank you.
It's custom.
Card table, you can have the best of intentions.
What did I do to these headphones? Good lord.
Jack of diamonds on the river, and this board is super coordinated. Jason knows he's got the best of it though.
Nice to see you, Jason. No sarcasm.
I'm gonna try to call it kind of like queen, I guess. Hard for Mike to have a worse king. I'm with you, Chick H15. The 8 to 9s are unlikely 3-betting hands for Anthony. Also, I think he probably would have put a bet in at some point on one of the streets. Probably, if not, definitely the flop, definitely the turn. It's hard for Anthony to have a hand. For Anthony to have a hand that you can beat when it's 3-bet. So Mike limps under the gun, 7-8.
Boom, Queen 9-5 Super Rainbow. Kelly here with the best of it.
I love it. I'm getting razzed by Dalton in the chat. Jake might be the only player with a 0% VPIP in the live stream. It's true. I didn't play a single hand.
I love
Sat
it.
down like, oh no, we got to play. I'm like, oh, all right.
Alright, just kidding. So club draw here for Tony on the turn, and Kelly as well. Man, if this goes running clubs, it's going to be pretty disguised, and I think Tony's going to end up paying off Kelly here if we see a club on the river. So Mike fires 30 here with a gutter ball, and everybody calls. And oh god,
Club on the river.
Kelly makes the absolute stone cold nutskis here, with the exception of deuce 3 of clubs. Now Tony also makes running clubs, and because it's runner flush, it's very kind of sneaky disguised. Kelly checks her nut flush over here, like a little bit of a beast here.
Good.
Oh, that can't be right. That can't be right. I don't know what I'm doing in life anymore. Guys, those graphics are not correct. Maybe it was Tony who had the nut flush draw, because obviously Kelly is not pulling the nuts there. So I think we had a little hiccup.
Give me back in the game.
Yeah! If they're pulling back, get me back in the game right
No,
now.
I think that's obvious. Well,
yeah, guys, those graphics are clearly incorrect. That would never happen.
she could have misread her hand, possible. I think more likely that we maybe had some sort of technical error there with the card.
I think everybody's like, yeah, that had to be wrong. There's no way that's right. There's no way that's right. Everybody's like, what? Undead Johnny. Yeah, look at that over there. Look at that stack of chips for Casey. Just a mountain of green. He's an architect. He's building things. Stacks O green. So is Leo too. He's got a sizable couple stacks over there. Boom. 8 deuce queen. And 8 deuce flops bottom 2 for Leo here. What a tank. Casey has a fun little gutter ball here.
Houstonable, welcome to chat. Sorry.
Checks around, no worries, checks around. So now, this is interesting. There's a huge turn card for Casey. That gives him a 2 different straight draws, and a flush draw. So lots of outs there. Leo's,
Double gutter and a flush draw. Casey, and the way this thing played in the flop, Casey can get pretty aggressive here.
Looks like he's just gonna flat call here. And of course,
there it is.
Bingo, bango, Stone Cold Nutskis here. And Gay Corpse loves when I say the Stone Cold Nutskis. So, yeah, Casey here with the absolute monster. Monster. And Leo with 8 deuce that just super got counterfeited here. Snapped on the river. 270 in the pot. Leo's gonna fire out. 135.
This is gross. I was at the table and Leo was telling me like how Casey just seems to have his number, and this whole game through the flush over flush.
He was just telling you that at the table?
They went 2 pair over straight, and now Leo 2 pair, and at some point it kind of comes inside your head, you know, this guy just, was got my number, or you start to think maybe this guy is he ever bluffing me?
Yeah. Or is this? Yeah. Why is this guy using me as his you know, as his beating pillow or something? I don't, you know.
I gotta think. Now Mike's got the bottom into the straight here.
Oh yeah, that's just enough for Mike to flat, and then oh my God, Casey is thinking
It's
just
a really
money
good
time right
flat
now.
by Mike.
Yeah, thank God he didn't try to get crafty, because look at Casey. Casey's just like, wow, how do I extract some value here? And the sick part is that he could, I mean...
Mike might actually even have a live read on Casey. Casey reached for chips there a second ago.
And the problem is this, is if Casey fires, Casey's going to pop this here. If Leo calls, can Mike overcall?
Leo can't ever call.
Okay, yeah.
Mike might have to and hate it.
Yeah.
JKH 15 just asked who I felt the best play on the table was. Mike just flatting there, and either one trying to draw Casey in to overcall as well with the worst hand, or playing cautiously with the second nut. Effectively second. I mean, I know he could have 5-9, but who plays 5-9?
Me. Yeah, wow, and the funny thing, I mean, this pot's at 900, 215 to call. I mean, the reason that Mike didn't insta-snap call is because Mike is putting on Casey on something fun. He's trying to figure out, how do you beat me right here? What do you have? And I think he's obviously trying to figure that out right now.
Mike, like I said, Mike, if I had to pick a player that I had to, roll or back or buy a piece of in cash games, it probably would be Mike.
Well, the problem is, oh wow, and he lets it. A good fold, Mike.
And that's
not
why.
An easy fold. It's such a randomly hidden runner straight that he had. Look, and I'm like, oh, Mike's gonna be so happy
so good about that.
Feels so good, man.
That was the
grossest river. That is, yeah. It is a gross river.
I think from what I've seen, okay, mind you, we just saw what we believe was Kelly check folding the nuts. She might have misread her hand. She might have, or we might have had a graphic error. We don't really know at this point. From what I've seen, so far, I think Kelly's played very well. Anthony plays well, but like I said, I go back to Mike Fossil and some of the things that we've seen Mike, the moves that he's capable of doing, the discipline that we've seen him have.
Even that last hand, right there. How many players just instant cry call? They're like, cry, oh God, I can't believe it, whatever.
Yeah, and that's exactly it.
Yeah, I mean, but he really tanked, and he's like, wow, I'm totally beat here.
The size.
Look at him shaking his head, sighing, just nodding. He's like, yeah, I feel really good about that fold.
The sizing, I think, was key there. 135. Casey made it. What did he make it? He made it 350 to go.
Yeah.
So when he only plays back at him, 225. I don't think Casey has many bluffs with that sizing.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you think Casey's really going to be overplaying a set and doesn't see the straight, and I think he might just be, but it's hard to put him, on a set the way that hand played out. I think it's sizing's key, and Mike sniffed it out.
All right, back to this flop here. We got a pair of nines for Anthony, a pair of nines for Frank, and 2 overs and a gut shot for Jason here.
Yeah. Like I said, and JKH 15 points out, like Casey's raise is unreal strong. Once when you got Leo leading out and Mike flats, and then Casey puts in that fairly small raise relative to the size of the pot and the action leading up into him. it's so strong. He's rarely ever trying to bluff two players off there.
Yeah, no,
with that
right,
sizing.
no,
I think if you're gonna bluff, you're gonna make it like 550, or you're gonna go way larger with your bluff.
Well, the thing is, it's very rarely are you trying to fire off two players like that. You might fire off one, but firing off two players like that takes a whole other level of crazy. And I think it was kind of obvious that he wasn't doing that. I still don't know if it's not an easy fold there still with the bottom end of that super hidden straight.
Ugly Black Prince 88. If no one said what's up yet, what's up?
Twinkies 22, welcome to the chat. Yeah, these players are not necessarily handpicked. These players are players who contact us and they say, hey, we want to play in this next live stream, or hey, we want to play in the next live stream you have at this certain limit. And if we have a seat, we get them in here. So normally we have a full table at least, plus a solid alternate list. Sometimes our live streams even break into a secondary feeder game as well. So
there's a lot of good games out there. There's several really good, really big 2-5s going on right now, as well as a really nuts 1-3.
Yeah.
My buddy deals. We used to work together too. He tells me.
Oh, that's Cali Dongs. Ugly Black Prince 88 is the new Cali Dongs' new handle. Say what?
Only a couple times. I was. We're gonna make sure. Like, Lucy Maristar. That's a couple times the players are there. You know, nothing event. They get good at times, but it's.
Right over to Frank. Tony's getting out of there. Over to Peter. Peter's gonna make the call. Action over to Kelly with Queen Jack, who's gonna put in a solid little button raise here.
So Ugly Black Prince is not. I like Cali Dongs. What is Angry Pollock talking about? Kelly makes it 30 to go on the button.
Too much mom juice. All right, look at this. Open. Oh, Frank Fuller. I was gonna say open-ended for Frank with 3-5, but he's out of there. Peter here spikes 4. Kelly spikes top pair, and she was the original aggressor, and she's on the button. So life is good for Kelly right now. $100 in the pot. Looks like both players check over to her, and she's gonna fire 35 buck. 35 buck. Peter's gonna make the call, and Mike makes the call. Oh, and Mike got out of there. 7 on the turn here. Kelly still with the best of it. Peter looking for a 4 or a 6 to complete here.
So we know that Peter's probably not just limping King Queen here, so Kelly's got to feel pretty good that her Queen is best right now. She tries to get some value out of Peter, it ain't gonna happen.
Ain't gonna happen.
It's really, I mean, I mean, Kelly knows she's got the best hand. It's just really hard. I mean, like, once Peter check calls, I'm kind of wondering, like, well, God, what does Peter really have? What's he really limping and then calling it like some sort of like 4-5 maybe, or ace 4, ace 3.
Yeah.
Kind of a strange little board, considering Peter limp called and then check called a pretty dry board.
Dude, I'm never token
Wop
you
right
ever.
Yeah, we
in the
took
chat.
a look at some chip sacks there. Casey's huge. I think it was 3.7 or 4.7K. He's huge right now.
Trouser browser.
On fire right now.
Rack attack goes to the table.
Over to Tony with pair 4s. He's going to go ahead and call. Looks like we probably got a straddle there from Frank. No surprise. Not quite a V straddle, but a straddle nonetheless. And Leo's gone. Action over to Kelly with King, Queen of Diamonds. She's 1 off the button here. She's going to put in a sizable raise here, make it $60, 75, something like that.
Twice with the rack attack, I got freaking buried. Yeah.
45.
Totally fair. Peter got me one time. It's like really good.
I did a big.
So 30 more for Frank and Tony to call here.
What was it? I flopped 2 pair. You flopped.
Frank's there.
You had like ace 8.
Tony might do a little set hunt. It's kind of tough because he's heads up. He knows he might beat me high. We'll see. He's going to make the call. Back to school tournament coming up here, guys. Nightbot, August 9th and 11th, 6:30 p.m. It's going to benefit the Lilliput organization.
3K bot.
So, Kelly here missed this flop. Tony's still with the best of it. And Tony's going to check over to Kelly. Pot's at 115.
Heads up, Kelly's going to be c-betting your entire range and position.
Yeah, no matter what.
And Tony actually might peel here, but the problem is we go back and talk about several of these different hands in the stream. Position. And Tony's in position. I think he definitely can call. So like the 10-5 is pretty dry. I mean, Kelly, she's just going to have an overpair or nothing. I mean, she might have some 10s, Jack 10, Ace 10 maybe, stuff like that. Other than that, forwards are usually going to be pretty good on that board, but out of position it's hard.
And the interesting thing about Kelly's hand here, so 5 deuce 10, I mean with King Queen, any card over 10 opens her up a world of possibilities, right? A King, a Queen, even a Jack puts her open-ended.
9,
gives her
she can turn a lot of equity, or a lot of turn cards will give her a lot of equity.
Yeah.
Diamonds.
Now, if you guys notice, if you look at the graphics in that last hand, yeah, Casey is at 4.7K. So if you notice the graphics in that last hand, it showed that I believe Kelly had like 2 possible queens and 1 king as an out. The reason it didn't show all 6 of her outs is because those outs were actually dead. So not only do we track the cards here in front of the players, but we also track the muck pile as well. So if players muck their outs, then those won't be available, and you'll see that shown there at the top of your screen.
So we got a rack attack here. So the house has added $200 to the pot, and we are going to play one hand of 5-10 limit hold'em. Just for one hand, guys.
Yeah, and these are always fun. These are kind of like expensive lotto scratchers. You fire it down, and everybody's looking to nail that river. It's kind of like going on. In hold'em.
I wasn't paying attention. We said we were on.
Yeah, rack attacks are always fun, man. I mean, when the house adds 200, it's great, right? I mean, how can it not be great? It's free money. But everybody else just, builds this pot epically fast.
I'm trying to figure out what they're doing here.
Literally no help. I'm sure nobody can do nothing before this game.
I don't know what else to do. I'm running.
Oh, wait, all in? Maybe they
so we're not playing limit. No, there's a rack attack. There's $200 of dead money in there.
Oh, wow.
And Mike jams 770.
Oh, wow. I love it. No limit in the rack attack.
So they're letting them play no limit hold'em in the rack attack.
Oh, what a hot mess. I can't wait to see this. No, as a Stones employee, as long as you're a live player, you're always eligible for promotions, rack attack, aces cracked, all sorts of that fun stuff.
So normally you said, yeah, JKH15, we would never fold pre-flop in a rack attack, but normally in the room when the table wins the rack attack, the game switches to limit hold'em for one hand.
Generally to avoid things like this, to avoid players saying, you know what, I'm just going to get super splashy and try to take these pots.
Beat it.
Yeah. And honestly, that makes it even more crazy here because, I mean, nobody else really has some super calling hands, but, why not?
Frank's in the tank with 9-10.
I love it.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, you know why? Because the stack isn't that much more.
This is real. Ugly Black Prince 80, this is real.
Yeah.
There's $200 of dead money the house just put in the pot. Every player limped, and it got to Mike, and Mike says, kick rocks. You guys don't want it, I'll take it.
Yeah, he's on the button, right? And, Frank over there, he's in the big blind. So Frank's thinking, like, dude, I have the ultimate snapper hand.
He also might be thinking that if Mike is doing this with like a pair of 8s or lower,
yeah,
with the added money in the pot, he's getting the right price to call on a flip.
Plus Frank is thinking, I gotta have 2 live ones, right? You're not doing this with 10s or 9s, even if you have 2 overs. Okay, great, bring it. You know what I mean?
And folks, that was not a Hollywood.
No, not at all.
That was Frank legitimately contemplating calling off 700 pre with 9-10 off.
I love it. Welcome to poker.
Frank's my hero.
Alright, I got aces, Mike.
Hey,
that'd be a really
interesting one.
Mike taking it down. What a beast. I thought they were going to side bet on
so you can pay to rabbit hunt, so I think they're going to pay to see what the flop would have been.
Fuck.
Frank pays to see what the flop would have been.
Oh, 9-10
Oh, Jesus, run for him. Oh, God.
9-10 would have been a huge flop for him. Look.
Frank paid to see the flop.
You gotta wait 30 minutes.
Would have got it.
Wow.
That was a legitimate.
He was taking like serious.
Well, if Mike's ripping, a small pair there, 4s, 5s, anything on 8s and under, with the added money in the pot, Frank's getting the right price for 2 overs to flip. It's gross.
It's nasty.
And he's well, and if he's got, you know, Ace X, like you said, like you pointed out, he's got 2 live cards,
right?
And it's Frank. Frank's like,
Ace Rag is even better for Frank because he's got 2 in-betweeners. Those 2 in-betweeners smack my Ace Rag every time. What a huge flop for Frank.
Wob right, I should have this, I should have that. No one cares what you folded.
$5 tip to the dealer at Stones on the live stream. You can rabbit hunt. That's rad. What else can you do that? That's rad.
Right.
Playing poker, so.
I love it.
I've made 3 pretty big hands. All 3 of them have been no good.
Shaq Peanut 32 asked to seat 1 play at Grayton. Mr. Mike Bossa plays everywhere.
So look at this, King 7. You know, Frank's getting a little retribution for mucking that last hand here. He flops trips. Nobody else has a whole lot. Oh, a diamond draw there for Mike, actually. And Leo's going to turn a 10 as well.
I don't think Leo should be betting here. I think Leo's probably definitely more profitable check calling.
And Tony has a straight draw. That was a fun little card for a lot of people here. Well, here's a 3 on the river. Whee!
The check to Mike. He's going to try to pick up the pot with his flush draw here. Frank, trip kings, going nowhere.
Tony's gone.
And now Leo cannot overcall, and he gets out of the way.
And Kelly over here with 3s. 175 in the pot, 50 to play. She's going to be out too. She knows she needs a 3. Oh, and 9-Jack would have got there, actually, for Tony.
And Tony whispers.
Tony whispers next to him, dude, I tell that 9-Jack. Damn it.
Tony, you know better.
Frank's like, I got a king. Yeah, king, is it good? Please?
He's showing the 8. They went check. Mustache 707. What's up, buddy? Veronica, what are you talking about?
Doesn't matter. You're just gonna get banned.
Alright.
It's a love-hate relationship. She loves to hate you.
Yeah.
Just let it happen.
This last hand in particular?
He just wanted to see if I would find
I was in first position. What am I supposed to do right there?
And every king in the deck is busy here. King 5, King 4, King Jack, King 7.
Yeah, double gutter on that one.
Kelly makes it 15 to go, 7-8 of diamonds. Who just folded King Jack? Anthony?
Anthony's giving Kelly some respect here.
That's a lot of respect.
That's a lot of respect. And biggity bam, Ace, 4, Queen, 2 diamonds. Of course, Kelly flops a little flush draw here. And Tony flops a gutter ball, but is actually drawing dead because we saw that all the kings were busy pre-flop.
Kelly continues her diamonds. Frank with just a pair of 4s.
Frank just throwing things around the table here. Boom. So Kelly now picks up a pair with her flush draw. And this also gives Tony a double gutter for a 9 or a king to complete here.
Now Kelly, I think, can double barrel here. If she thinks that Frank might check call her with a queen, I mean, if he's willing to check call her with a 4, he can definitely check call her with a queen. If by double barreling everything you can get Frank off of a queen, that's a great result. And even if not, you have a ton of equity here with your pair and flush draw. As it is, she actually had the best hand, takes down the pot.
Monster.
So wait, now is there another seat? Is Anthony racking up? Is there another seat open? That's why Anthony mucked the King Jack.
You know, well, there's too much of a delay. Even if you sat in there, I think we could see one hand of yours. But you're used to that anyway. So why don't you go sit down and we see one hand and needling. Wow. Police Fold says, Frank must have tilted after that splash pot fold. He really wanted that 9-10. He did. He's a glutton for punishment, though. He paid the $5. He's actually lost an extra $5 on top of the pot because he paid to see it.
I think that's a good double barrel by Kelly. I mean, she doesn't know she has the best hand there. I mean, she's actually betting her hand for some fold equity as well. If Frank can have a queen there, King, Queen, Queen 10, Queen Jack, all those hands, then the second barrel just might be good enough to get him off. T-Bird says, yeah, Kelly's doing great. She hasn't folded the nuts in 10 minutes.
You know, we gotta ask her, man.
I'll have to ask her.
She saw the stream. I mean, I don't know. She must know. She must know if that was a mistake or not.
I got involved in it. We were playing we're playing 5-10, and I mucked a straight flush.
Oh no.
And not like, oh, I'm like hero muck the idiot into the straight flush because the other guy had a big straight flush.
Yeah.
I remember looking at the board, and I had pocket fives, and I remember like the board on the turn, like, well, wow, the 5 of hearts right now would make the straight flush, but I knew I had pocket fives, and I remember thinking to myself, wow, I have the wrong fives right now. Yeah, that sucks. But there was nobody plotted. It was everything's like checking through, get to the river, someone leads, I throw it away, and then someone else at the table rolled over the wrong 2 pocket fives as well, meaning that I actually have the right 5. So I mean, misreading your hand happens. I'm not saying that's what did happen. I'm saying it's possible.
Yeah.
King of clubs comes off on the turn. Hits Peter, puts 3 clubs out there though. Peter's gonna lead it anyway. If someone had a big club here, they might just call him.
Good luck.
Bam, Peter, take it down.
Give me that deuce of diamonds. I think I need at least the king of hearts to have shot. Yeah, we just drew for it. Bad beat. Oh, redraw.
Love the table talk. Bad beat. I'm just kidding. Redraw.
Mike. All right, I'll take it.
T-Bird 71, 61 says that they got knocked out of the tournament yesterday by misreading their hand. First time ever. It happens. Interesting move here. Tony elects to move from seat 4 over to seat 9. Seems to me that I would much rather be sitting directly on Frank's left than not directly on Frank's left, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If Frank, as aggressive and creative as he can be, I would be much more comfortable in this game having direct position on Frank than just cuddling up next to the dealer.
Boom. 7, 8, 9, all diamonds. Look at this top pair and a little diamond draw here for Frank. Open-ended for Mike. Open-ended for Leo along with a pair of 7s.
You got 1 seat on 11.
Where did Antoom go? Did he took off? Just cashed out?
He racked up.
And bingo bango here. Jack of Hearts is going to give Mike the straight. Frank's still with the redraw here. A 10 would actually catch up Frank as well as a diamond. Ben 65 ain't called. 4 of hearts. Super brick ball there on the river. Mike's hand's still best. 250 in the pot. I think Mike knows it's best here. He's going to bet out for a little bit of value here. Frank's wondering, hey, do you have the straight? Do you have a missed diamond? No, Frank calls the 100. Just enough to get value there. Guys, take a look at Nightbot there. Subscribe to us on the YouTube channel so we can change our name from that horrendous Gobbledygook URL and make it something cool like Stone's Life Poker or Super Sad River Poker or something along those lines.
I like this, talking about misreading hands. Rip 190 trash with the misread ace 4 for ace ace. That happens.
Oh, yeah.
And got all in free against kings and jacks in a 2K pot. Spiked an ace.
And then he says, easy money, boys.
Spiked an ace.
I respect it.
So sick.
We've all had instances like that. I was one time at a table where a guy had a couple of the larger $100 chips I didn't see, but he had it behind the rest of his stack. So he ships it, and I'm like, okay, cool. The guy's only got like 150 or 200. He had like 500 or 600, and I'm like, oops. But I still won the pot, and I had him covered. And I was like, cool.
As long as no one else wanted it.
I want it.
Also, Nightbot's bringing it up because he's so needy. This Wednesday, the Stones employee game, 1-3 no limit, always a blast to watch. These guys do not hold back. It's a no holds barred employee game for sure.
Tony makes it 15 to go under the gun. Ace 10. Frank makes a call. 9-6. Frank's in no mood. He's like, you know what? I want to play hands. I think someone mentioned after that splash pot or rack attack hand. I think Frank's a little peeved at that he didn't call off the 9-10 when he wanted to, and he would have got there.
Yeah,
and now Frank's is like, kick rocks. I want to barrel.
Like whatever.
Check 30.
7 of clubs comes off on the turn. That changes nothing.
Yeah, it changes nothing here. Tony's still with an ace, Frank's still with a 9. Biggie bam, 4 on the river, no help to anybody. Tony with the best. $90. Tony's gonna fire a little value of like 60, something like that. And Frank makes the call. And he says, okay, you win. So, yeah, I mean, pretty much all these players here, I don't think anybody reloaded for table stakes, so everybody you see there probably for pretty much 1,000 at most if they didn't reload once.
Yeah.
So, you're looking at some solid come-up, especially right there for Casey, man. I mean, 1,000 up to like 4,600.
Yeah, Casey's really broke them off.
Super huge. It's just stacks on racks on stacks of green right there. And
he's got that big guilty smile on his face too. Look at him.
Absolutely. And for those of you guys tuning in here, maybe somebody new to the stream, the reds are 5s, the greens are 25s, and that's all you really need to worry about.
I don't see any white chips in play in this game. Normally the white chips are hundreds. Casey makes it 25 to go, ace 9 off. Looks like Leo makes the call with a 4-3 of hearts. And Tony's gonna call better hearts out of the big line. Better hearts, worse ace.
9-5 queen, 2 clubs. Whole lot of nada from most players here. Ace 9 heist, or pair 9s with an ace. And a running club draw here. Gives Casey the current best. He's gonna fire 35. And he's gonna take it down. Easy money. The rich get richer. Oh, just kidding. Frank's still in it. Got some graphics issues here, coming back. Ooh, Frank's gonna pop him up.
We can't see Frank's cards.
Which could literally be any 2. It's enough to get Casey out of there. Take it down, Frank. Oh, he's gonna show maybe? Oh.
I think Frank shows a bluff.
2 random cards. We got a new shooter, it looks like, here, popping into seat 4.
Torrance, how about
Looks like he's buying in for like 1,400, something like that.
Well, that was my
Isn't it pretty neat?
No, Frank, there's no prop players in this game. There's Frank is not a spot in the game. He is just another player here at Stones. Likes to have a lot of fun. There is definitely no prop players in this game. And I know of until I get corrected later on it.
The silver deal.
Oh my god. Ace is crack on right now?
Ace is cracked, but everybody folded around, so they're just chopping the pot. Tony's like, yeah, check out my aces, bro. I'm awesome.
I don't want to talk about that.
Like the second time of the night. Need you remind me?
My 7 cents is what's my stockbroker doing in the game. New player in seat 4.
Over there in C4 is going to be Joe. Welcome to the game, Joe. He picked a good spot already, right next to Frank. See what Frank does first.
It's called fucking raise 65.
I don't want to talk about it.
Even though he bluffed me with the raise.
I was like,
Mike over there with a mountain of red.
You have to.
Well, I knew.
I mean,
All right, sevens versus jacks. Heads up. Boom. Queen 10-4. No help to anybody. Leo's jacks are still ahead. He's gonna check it. Man, I don't know when Leo got into town. Oh, there you go. Now Leo's open-ended here with this pair. I don't know when Leo got into town, but that time change must be a killer, man. Talk about some jet lag when you're flying from Malaysia.
Yeah, I can't imagine what that's like.
Literally, flip the script. I mean, it's probably a 12-hour time difference at least, right? Probably more than that if he was having lunch. Probably like a 15-hour time difference. Something like that. That's bad. Oh, 7 on the river, Frank, you dirty dog, you. Wow. Every out in the world for Leo, and he was already ahead, and Frank spikes a 2-outer on him. So 260 in the pot here.
So Frank goes check call, lead.
Obviously, there's no way you can put Frank on pocket 7s. And so Leo's going to pay him off and see the bad news, unfortunately, here. Boom. Oh.
I'm gonna be honest here. If I have Leo's hand, I'm probably calling 2.
Yeah, of course.
The way that hand played out, I mean, when it goes check call lead, either, I mean, Frank can have the wrong end of the straight draw. He can have Jack 9. It's harder for him to have Jack 9 because Leo's got 2 of the jacks. He had a King Jack for the nuts, so he could have maybe check called straight draw, check called when he turned these stone cold nuts, and then he doesn't want to get checked back, so he leads river.
Yeah.
That's another possibility. Other than I mean, specifically King Jack, it's a really weird line to take if you just had like a queen. You know, check call, lead small, unless you're trying to make probably a little blocker bet where you don't want to get raised off pot.
It's questionable.
Just trying to get the showdown.
Yeah.
So when a player does that, I honestly, and with Leo's hand, I don't think that's a bad call. I think you can call pocket jacks there and be okay most times, especially when you're playing against a really creative and aggressive player like Frank.
Yeah, and if I'm Leo right there, I mean, I could have easily gone either way.
Yeah.
I could have called, I could have got away.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think there's a right or wrong.
If it went check call versus a different player versus Tony versus maybe Peter, I might think about doing something different there with jacks, you know, getting off them. But when it goes check call it, and let's say maybe a player like like Mike, Casey, Frank, leads on check call lead on that board. Jacks is going to be good. I think a good enough percentage of the time where I think long term with that sizing and that size of the pot, I think long term Jacks is probably it's not a bad call.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel bad really. We came all this way from Malaysia and brother's just getting cooler.
I know, right? No, but he's still up though. I think he only bought it for the grand. I don't think he rebought, did he?
Yeah, he reloaded.
Okay, but even then he's still up. Or even if you reload another grand, he's still got 2.5 in front of him. So. Okay, whatever, man. I don't know. I'm just saying it's awesome to have him here from out of town, from out of the world, from out of the country, from out of this ocean.
Nah, brother's seriously running into some coolers tonight.
And for those of you who asked about getting a seat in our live stream, there's the number right there. Call or text our poker concierge line at 702-465-9450 for a good time. Reach out to that number. Alright, looks like Kelly over here with King Queen. She's gonna get out of there. Casey with 3s versus Frank's Ace-6. Boom. Alright, pair of aces here for Frank. Checks it over to Casey. Casey's gonna fire. Frank's gonna make the call. King clubs on the turn helps nobody, but does complete a possible flush draw if it was out there.
That would have been a good card for Casey to try to take the pot away on.
Frank's like, yeah, I got an ace. I hope it's good. Fingers crossed. And Casey says, it sure is.
The thing about it is, Frank, as we can see, I mean, you saw him call down with that 9 versus, was it Kelly. Frank's not in much of a mood to fold. Like, normally, when that king of clubs comes off on the turn and it checks, I think that's a really good card for Casey to try to represent. It's it's another big card to me. Another it completes a flush. But Frank's not in the mood to fold much right now.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, And sometimes you get this, right, where players get stuck a little bit, they get down a little bit, and then all of a sudden, you know, again, it goes back to that, oh, screw it move, right? Just whatever, I'm going to push it all in. And, you know, Casey's sitting pretty on a big stack. I don't think he just wants to have Frank get splashy and just push a big stack and then have to worry about making a hero call or fold when he's got the best.
Right now, I would love to see Frank. I'm not rooting against any other player, but I would love to see Frank pick, you know, make some sort of a nutted hand right now.
Yeah.
And,
Nobody's gonna get
and no one would be incredible.
Yeah.
Frank would get hit off to the nines right now.
It's gonna crank it to 11. All right, going to the flop here. Boom, 10, 3, 5, 2 spades here. Leo 6s still the best. 35 here into the spot of 55, and it's good. Dig it down. What sort of currency do they use in Malaysia? I have no idea. That's a good question. I have no sort of conversion rate. I wonder if this game is more expensive for him, just converting to the US dollar. I don't know. I'm just, you know, it might be.
Yeah, I have no idea what the currency is in Malaysia.
It might be.
I feel like I should know that, and I don't know that.
Yeah. Like when I was over in the UK and the pound was still a lot stronger, I was just like, okay, well, this 1-3 game, I'm like, this is a little bit more pricey for me. And it's like, I feel like I'm 1.5 times deeper than everybody else here.
Against AB at Cordova Friday night.
We play all the way out to Sunday.
Race 20.
Hey, boy, we also don't know Google. Veronica,
That's AB.
I miss you.
Doodle rock a 50, 60 hour session. Like, no problem. He takes naps in between hands.
Yeah. And he gives everybody a chance to get like.
It's like I miss her in the same way there was a scene in The Shining where Jack Nicholson's chasing around, you know, the girlfriend.
Yeah.
Wendy, darling, light of my life.
Yeah. But you're also trying to kill her with an axe, is what you're saying. I miss Veronica, but I'm also slightly trying to kill her with an axe. Slightly.
I'm not going to hurt you. Just gonna smash your brain.
I gotta wear that one. I got a good shirt for that. You'll see. All right, 4 on the
Frank!
Frank's a beast. Frank is a set magnet. Frank rivered the set before. Now he's turning sets. So top pair for Tony. The 4 is such a disguiser card too. Nobody's drawing for a 4 except for Frank. And just spikes it. So Tony checks. Frank's gonna fire into 150. He's gonna fire. Looks like maybe 90 or something, and Tony's gonna make the call. Yeah, it was 90. 5 on the river here pairs the board. It's gonna give Frank a boat. And Tony's thinking that actually is that, hey, you know, I think it doesn't really change anything. I think it was already ahead. And he's gonna fire, what looks like 100 and something? 105. Frank here made a boat. He's not going anywhere. Frank's coming in for a raise. Now this might look a little fishy too, because Frank doesn't have a whole lot behind. So the fact that I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It looks like he's kind of begging for a call here, and I think Tony picks up on that, so he's gone. Oh, he was. Or bet last he showed.
And he shows A4.
He didn't show both?
He shows A4 and flips the other
wow,
one in the muck.
that's so sick. Frank, you dirty dog, you. Oh man. Shows 1-4, and Tony's like, great. Great, I folded the winner. There's no way he had what? The only thing he can have is pocket 4s to beat him.
Yeah.
4 is no good. 4-5, I guess.
That's really all I get. One person. I get all of them.
Copy that, Bob. So yeah, I mean, to me that's what you kind of when they raise like 3/4 of their stack.
Yeah,
you know,
right.
And they raise and they leave themselves.
Yeah.
Well, it's not just that they're not going anywhere. It usually means that they're nutted because they're not so much thinking how much they have. You know, how much of their stack to raise, or how much they have in the pot. They're thinking, how much value can they get? I think I can get another 150, another 200, 400 out of this pot, so that's how much they raise. Everyone said they only, they raise 400 out of a $500 stack.
So I love this guy. So here, this is the last hand here. It looks like Tony raised to 10. Casey raised to 55. Frank throws out a power call. Just like service on 11. Down. So this could be fun if Tony wants to do a little re-raise here and Frank wants to get splashy, especially after that last pot.
JKH15 says, yeah, that's what we were saying, the non-shove looks way stronger than a shove.
Oh, and he's got a flat call, you dirty sneaky dog here. Let's see how this goes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Jesus.
4-5-4. Frank with 6s is loving life here. I don't think you can really peg any of these players here on a 4. So let's watch how this goes. So I love this check. Casey fires 80. Wow, Casey has no idea. He's just strung by like all the best hands.
Here's the hard part for Tony here. Is normally Tony's line would be the check raise here, but Frank's the pot. Frank can have a 4.
Yeah,
and he had like queen 4.
He very much good. That's not gonna stop Tony here. He's, you know, my aces aren't good, they're not good, so he pumps it. Casey's just gonna kind of, you know, Hollywood for a minute, get out of there. And Frankie, what are you gonna do, Frank? It's the last hand of the night, guys. Let's see here. If Frankie's feeling squashy, I mean, the check raise on a board like that, though, is kind of screaming. I mean, it's kind of screaming a 4. Could be screaming a, you know, maybe a straight draw. Could be screaming 7s or better, which obviously has Frank crushed.
No, I'm sorry.
Let's see here.
And I apologize for that.
If I'm Frank, I don't think Tony's ever check shoving worse
than 6s.
Yeah.
What I owe you there?
He's never doing some 3s. Can't beat 5s. Doesn't even think about 4s. When he check shove 6, 7, it's hard to do that, and it's hard for him to have 6, 7 because Frank's got 6s.
Yeah.
Frank, I mean, you're blocking your opponent's bluffs. So I don't think you can hero call, so they said, when you're blocking your opponent's bluffs. If Frank calls, he's doing it just to spite Tony. And
oh, he's going to overpair and land it down. Let's see it, Tony.
It's a good fold by Frank.
Oh, so he just does one. You know, good for Tony, because Frank only showed him 1-4 earlier when he wrote there, and he turned that set of 4s, so.
The over is fair.
I mean, Frank will get sticky. Frank can get real sticky, but Frank is going to get only sticky to a certain degree. Like I said, I mean, the main thing, one of the main things to take away from that hand is, you know, the concept of, you know, blocking your opponent's bluffs. If you're going to hero call, you don't want to be blocking their bluff hands.
Yeah.
And specifically, the one bluff that Tony could have there is 6, 7, when Frank's got pocket 6s. It's just so,
like you said, there's very few times that Tony's going to shove with less there. You know what I mean? Less than 6.
Yeah, if ever at all. But
yeah.
Crazy game, lots of fun. What do we have this Wednesday?
Employee game.
That's right, the employee game. 1-3 employee game.
Awesome.
I can't wait.
It's gonna be awesome. It's always a fun hot mess when you have dealers fighting dealers at a poker table. I love it.
Is that me and you Wednesday?
Yes.
Sweet.
Let's do it.
See you then. We'll see you guys then.
Sweet. Right on. Good show, guys. See you soon.
Good night.
She's going crazy, the only way she's ever known. I can't explain it, the way she gets into the zone. But when she's got that love, it's the one and only way to go.